All right, guys. Oh man, Whew. We're up. All right, all right. Tesla about to back up a little bit today. It's at 282.50. All right, bro. Where is my coffee, dude? Where did I do with it, man? Yeah, market's up a little bit. It's not really gapping up too much, but it's gapping up some. We'll see if it holds. All right, let me go get my coffee, man. It looks like I forgot my coffee. Here, I gotta go get it. All right, Koi ban crypto. It's market. Yeah, crypto up to 30.5s right now. Crypto moving today. Push for link. Effective Europe or USA ban. Yes. Link is up 17%. No. Yeah, you can see the SPY sitting right around 455 or so. Tesla had earnings yesterday. They're at 282.70s. We'll see if they hold now. Johnson and Johnson earnings. We do have some other earnings today, right? We got American Airlines, Johnson and Johnson, BX, Nokia, a couple other ones dropping early this morning. We got Taiwan Semiconductors, American Airline Group at 7, Johnson and Johnson at 625, Nokia at 1, Abbott at 730. Um, all right. Yeah, so we're gonna cover the earnings that come out. We got a couple dropping soon. Johnson and Johnson drops theirs in about 2 minutes. I'm gonna go grab my coffee and then we're gonna cover Johnson and Johnson earnings. All right, we're back. Again, Johnson and Johnson their earnings today. Um, I think my speaker's just disconnected. Hold on one second. There it is. Johnson and Johnson is supposed to drop theirs pretty soon. All right, Johnson Johnson sees 2023. So Johnson Johnson's already out with theirs. They dropped second quarter adjusted EPS of 280, beat the 262 estimate. Sales of 25.53 billion, beat the 24.63 billion estimates. We'll put these up on stream. What up do you want from me? Mhm. Uh, yeah, so Johnson Johnson beat on both EPS and sales. Uh, all right, Johnson and Johnson reporting today. Let me have some of this coffee. Mm, it's hot. Mm. All right. Jobless claims data comes out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to cover that as soon as it drops. Oh man, we're awake. All right, so we're going to get some music playing too. All right, so, good morning, John. Hopefully, all Tesla won't drag the market down today, but maybe will. I mean, Tesla is not really down a ton in pre-market today. So, like, pre-market is actually up some. You can kind of see where it switches here. Here's yesterday, and then pre-market's right here. So Tesla is actually gapping up from about 280 to almost 283s in pre-market today. So it's definitely not dragging the market down in pre-market. It might be dragging the market up a little bit, but it's definitely not dragging the market down. And if we look at the SPY is actually green in pre-market today as well, although it was red in after hours yesterday. All right, guys. US dollar up or down. I think the dollar's probably down a little bit in pre-market, but up a little bit in after hours yesterday. It just depends on what it is. Uh, I think you're a very good trader. Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it. I'm green again today, man. Again, you can kind of see we're kind of just chipping away at some of these trades. Walgreens still doing great, man. We bought Walgreens on the dip a couple days ago, and that thing is just up big, man. Yeah, I think I bought Walgreens. Let me see where I bought it. Let me see what my average is for this. Yeah, my average for Walgreens is 29.21, bro. So like we got in at the very bottom on Walgreens. 29.21 is my average here. Walgreens has a since bounced back up to 30 plus and minus 7K. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I could pump by 10%. Do we think we gap down today? What do you think? I don't know. Yeah, I saw the Cali ticket one. See, my question with the Powerball, though, if I'm being real here, like my question with the Powerball is this: every time it seems like a little bitty shack wins it, and like you wonder whether they're intentionally swaying it towards like little bitty like places, like little bitty gas stations that nobody's ever heard of, like never going to be at the big ones, like the busy ones. Because the last couple were in California and they were at little bitty shacks in California. So like I question whether they're swaying that towards it so that it's a better story if if like rags to riches type of story. You wonder if they're swaying. I feel like they probably are. But who knows how? They make so much money. The Powerball makes so much money that like they could do it in a lot of different ways. In all honesty, TSM EPS 114 versus 108 Rev 15.68 billion in sales versus 15.5 billion expected. Good morning from 10,000 feet, Mount Baker, Washington. What's up, Reed? Thought I would check cell reception. Hey, what's up, bro? Morning, John. You DCN and Tesla again long term at this point. I'm holding Tesla long term. I'm not. I didn't really do anything yesterday. I think Tesla will bounce a bit today. Yeah, I mean it dropped yesterday on earnings. So Tesla dropped their quarter two. Tesla dropped their quarter two earnings. All right, so Netflix dropped their numbers as well. There's Netflix. All right, so yeah, Netflix posted a. right, so Johnson and Johnson. All right, so Johnson and Johnson dropped their earnings this morning as well, showing, and we got this up here on the screen as well. 280 beat 262 estimates for Johnson and Johnson. All right, guys. All right, so Bitcoin is up nicely today. All right, so yeah, so Bitcoin is up nicely after the XRP trial as well, showing that XRP is technically not a security. The judge's ruling showed that XRP is not a security, and this is causing many cryptos, including Bitcoin, over the last day. All right, guys. Jobless claims dropped this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the Philly Fed. Jobless claims is expected to show 242,000 minus 10 for the Philly Fed index. All right, so we also had Horton, Dr. Horton. All right, DHI. All right, so let me know if there's anything else newsworthy. All right. Yeah, I got to get the music playing as well. All right, guys. All right, so we got our market news report, and we're kind of breaking down all this different stuff. Let me get some music actually playing here in the background so you guys can hear, so it's not kind of silent over there while I'm working. Uh, but yeah, let me know what you guys think here, man. We got a lot of old songs that we've been putting on lately that I've liked a lot more than new songs, to be honest. Some of the new songs are good, but like I like a lot of the old ones. Let me go back. I got this super long playlist that I built like years ago, man. I've been building this playlist for like half a decade, dude. And so, like, I don't wonder how far it goes back, to be honest, dude. I got so many songs on this thing. All right. There we go. I think it's going to end badly. No songs. Yeah, I'm playing the music right now. I'm fixing that right here. All right, and we did post this report to Twitter here, guys. So let me know what you think. We did post this long report. We're calling it Market News Today. And it's got a lot of data on it. So again, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. We're covering a lot of the market news stuff right there. If you're truly supportive of my channel, hit the subscribe button and follow me on Twitter, and then go heart this post. We'll see how many people truly support the channel. Go heart this post, hit the like button, and we certainly appreciate it. But yeah, Johnson & Johnson numbers today. Johnson & Johnson showed an EPS beat, a revenue miss, or no, a revenue beat. So Johnson & Johnson beat EPS, beat rev. You can see that data right here. A bunch of other earnings coming out sometime today. Yeah, we also had Info System drop quarter one results, 379.3 bill versus 373 expected. Fiscal 24 revenue growth guidance to the range of 1 to 3.5%. They cut it. We had DHI, First Third Bank, drop their numbers as well. And then we got Walgreens moving back up some more here. Bitcoin at 30.5K, so bouncing back. All right, so I did have a little miss on I misspelled something. All right, is ETH still up? Yeah, so ETH is up. Yeah, if there's anything else newsworthy here, let me know, man. Hey, thank you, Wilson, for the follow. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. What's up, DS? You could have added possibly watch. Well, leave it in the comments section leave it in the comments section of the tweet. It's always good. Like, my goal is to, I can post the big news, and if any of my viewers ever want to add a story to the comments, you can. So go ahead and tweet it, Decided to hold my 3 long on the NQ today, praying for a bounce. Hey, good luck, bro. I hope you make some money, man. I think I made money yesterday and all my stuff. I still got a couple days to try to get funded. Made a little bit yesterday. Again, we only need about $1,000. If I can make if I can make $700 today and then $700 tomorrow, then I'll get funded tomorrow. I should get funded tomorrow. We'll see. Hey, thank you, Nova. Thank you so much, man. Tesla's mixed second quarter, which featured a bad whiff on gross profit margin thanks to a steady drumbeat of price cuts. One Wall Street analyst is coming out blasting on the EV maker stock. He said, quote, "I still think Tesla is egregiously overvalued right now, according to Roth Capital." Craig Irwin on Yahoo Finance Live said coming into the earnings release late Wednesday, Irwin had an $85 price target on Tesla, suggesting a downside potential of a whopping 71%. Yeah, Mark, I don't know if I agree with that, man. I think that's a little out there for earnings, but doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong. American Airlines drops theirs in about 15 minutes for AAL. 15 minutes or so. Carvana, a little bounce again today at 58. I wanted to talk about Carvana here, man. Carvana's been one of the crazy movers over the last couple days here. Carvana up to 58, 80s here. So just a crazy move, to be honest, man. Let's see if Carvana can break highs again. Yeah, Carvana is one of the crazy ones. Yeah, like we're watching Netflix, but there we go. Got it monetized. Okay, good. This guy's like Michael Burry, left a lot of troll. Yeah, I mean, honestly, let's just be real here for a second. The market has flown up crazy high, and again, this is something that like the bears don't give me enough credit for here because, I think sometimes they're just desperate to be right. But I've been telling you guys, man, over for like a year now, that the market did not have to crash and that the biggest edge is on the upside. I've been saying it over and over again in a lot of different ways. In a lot of different ways, I've been saying this. And what has happened since I started saying that? Has the market dropped? No. The market has pushed up huge percentages since I've been saying this to you guys. And so, at the very least, bears, listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, but at the very least, you got to give me the credit there and just say, hey, look, man, you guys know I've been right. No matter what anybody says, I told you guys the biggest edge was on the upside, and that's exactly what we've gone is on the upside. Market is pumping up heavily. And again, we'll see what happens. We still got a lot of earnings to come out. But Tesla earnings did not tank the market. At least Netflix dipped a little bit. The market dropped some, but it's not down huge. It's basically break even. We're right at the open from yesterday, so not really a super bad spot. We're actually higher than yesterday's open right now, to be honest. So again, that's good. We'll see if it holds. But yeah, I mean, listen. Sometimes you got to tune out the bears because the bears are going to tell you the market's going to fall no matter what the sentiment is, no matter what they think, no matter what the market shows them. A lot of the time they're biased against, a lot of times like fear of missing out happens, like FOMO happens, right? And so because sometimes I think bears miss out on the upside, they just start to get really bearish, and act like the market's just got to drop since they didn't buy it. And it's like I bought some stuff, but I didn't ride the whole thing up. Yeah, 85 price target mark's probably a little bit low for me, dude. Again, $85. It's kind of like somebody here told me that the SPY, and again, what happens with these accounts typically is like people will make these accounts and they'll make these big, bold bear predictions. They'll come out and they'll be like, oh, the market's going to drop. The market's going to drop. And, they'll make these big... they'll make these big bear predictions and say, hey, the market's going to crash imminently. You better sell. Somebody told me that the SPY was going to drop 80%. 80%. They said the SPY was going to drop 80%. And again, I did the math for them real quick. If you actually do the math on that, like somebody's saying the SPY is going to drop 80%. I think they were saying it when it was at like 420s too, right? So saying the SPY is going to drop 80%. No, this is wrong. Saying the SPY is going to drop 80% would be like the SPY being at $84 a share, which is just that's a wild prediction. And again, since they've made that prediction, the market has mostly pushed up. Like the market's up big percentages since they said that. We're up to 450s right now. And I'm not saying there's no chance it's not going to come back. But again, understand the true edge of the market, which is that long term stocks are going to go up. One of the big common things that I said like a year ago, and this is something that if you guys have been watching my stream long enough, you'll remember me saying this. All right. One of the things I said was that bear markets don't last forever. The market a year ago had already been dropping for like a year plus. Like the market had already dipped really, really heavily into all this stuff. If we look at the SPY like over a weekly chart, the market already dipped pretty drastically over that period of time. Like you can kind of see, like at this point in time a year ago, the market was down a lot. Like the market had dropped from 470s, all the way down to 350s. You know what I mean? And the bears were acting like it was just going to keep going down. And something that I told them was like, look, the market goes in waves. It's not just going to go straight down. That's just not how it goes. Like a lot of the time, people need to understand that like when the market's down big, the likelihood is that it's going to bounce back. It's not just going to keep dropping. And I think that's like where a lot of people have mistaken what their sentiment is or what their predictions are, is because they act like the market's just going to go like this, and it never really does most of the time. Typically, bear markets don't last forever. And so we had the bear market over the past few years up until about November of last year. And then the likelihood was that it would probably bounce back. And that's something I told people over and over again. And so it's really validating to see it now and to like kind of see that I was exactly right with what I said. I told people I thought this would happen. I told people that the market was extended on the downside. I told people that bear markets aren't going to last forever and that there's some extension on the downside. Right around here is when I said all that stuff. And since then, time has very obviously shown that I was correct. We have bounced back up huge amounts. Now, I honestly, I could never have predicted how fast we were going to bounce back, but the point still remains, we bounced back really nicely. You gotta celebrate your wins when you get them, and so I'm gonna celebrate those wins because I was absolutely right about that, and I made money on it too. So hey. Oh, I took a side financial. I wrote a lot of stuff up the whole time. Like I wrote Disney up. I wrote a bunch of different stocks up, to be honest, throughout all this stuff. So I definitely took a side. It was on the upside. But sometimes I don't tell you guys about the trades because I don't need to, Right. The pandemic global shutdown dropped the market almost 40%. Right. Exactly. And at the time, again, people have this big tendency, I think, to when the market drops, they say it's going to drop more, right? But you got to look at extension. You really do. You got to look at extension. Again, I'm going to say this, and again, understand, I'm going to preface it before I say it, that I'm not super political as a person. And so I'm not criticizing you if you side with one political side. I'm really not. I'm pretty neutral politically, all that stuff. But I think people are biased by their political affiliation. I think one side wants whatever side's in power, the other side wants them to fail, right? So that makes them more bearish than they normally would, and they want the market to crash. So it's confirmation bias. So it's like, oh yeah, the market's crashing. The current administration is, and all that stuff, and that clouds their judgment, to be honest, to where they don't really see like potential strength coming in, and they miss out on it a lot of the time. I think that happens very often in the market, especially from like what I've seen the bears come to my stream and say. A lot of times they'll say, oh, well, the market's going to drop. This is bad. It's the end of the world. All this different stuff, trying to make the current administration look bad. But again, y'all are letting politics cloud your judgment and history. The market typically moves in waves. And a year ago, we were pretty extended on the downside. And time has shown that correct. All right, guys, what other earnings do we have today? We've got Nokia dropping theirs. Nokia's already out. Johnson & Johnson. American Airlines drops theirs in 7 minutes. American Airline in 7 minutes. That's the only really big one. We got Abbott Laboratories here. If you don't know, I despise Abbott Laboratories as a company, and I'll explain why. Abbott Laboratories is one of the biggest anti-cannabis lobbying groups in the world. They pay both political sides hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you want to know who's keeping cannabis illegal and lobbying the politicians to with PAC money and lobbyist groups, it's Abbott Laboratories. Like they are the ones that are basically keeping cannabis illegal. But they dropped their earnings this morning. Hopefully they miss. And again, I'm not really a big cannabis user. I just think that it hurts everybody keeping it illegal. I think we lose tax dollars. I think you cause people to go to sketchy markets to get it, and people are going to consume it anyway. And cannabis is something that reduces inflammation. Like CBD has been proved to show that. So it's like to have a natural medicine that's going to be better than a lot of the synthetic medicine that's out there, and then to criminalize that and throw people in jail for that, and then pay politicians to keep it illegal. I think that's just one of the worst things you could ever do. But they dropped their earnings today. They're expecting $1.58 profit per share in EPS on $13.7 billion in sales. And again, we'll see if they hit it or not. Yeah, for sure. 100%. That's exactly what it is, financial. Yeah, financial. Don't think I'm against you, bro. I'm not. I just know you're one of the bears that have been in here saying the market was going to drop. And then the market's been pushing up. And then a lot of the time, I'm not saying it's you, but a lot of the time they'll make excuses about why the market's not dropping and all this stuff. I think sometimes, I think the bears have been wildly wrong, wildly wrong over the last 6 months. And again, I'm not sure if that's really you or not, but Bitcoin at 30.4. Cancer is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Why would they get rid of that with the cure? Yeah, for sure. Well, cannabis is not a cure. Let's get that straight. Cannabis is not a cure. Not for the most part. Not for most types. Cannabis has been shown to have some positive effects. Again, the other day, and I have this talk with my viewers every now and then, to be honest. Like I have these talks with my viewers every now and then, to be honest. Like one of these talks, what these talks entail is, okay, so what's healthy for humans are things that our ancient ancestors had access to, right? This is why blueberries are superfoods. Is because if you think about what hunter-gatherers had access to, like what they consumed the most, and what's the least foreign to human body, it's like stuff that they walked around picking, like blueberries, strawberries. One of the reasons a lot of berries are superfoods is because our hunter-gatherer ancestors had access to them, and they're the least foreign things to our bodies. And so the standard there is like, the more foreign something is to the human body, the more inflammation it causes. And inflammation is the root cause of a lot of issues like cancer, like acne, like a lot of different things. Now, with all that said, cannabis has been shown to reduce inflammation. So what does that tell you? Is that our ancient ancestors consumed cannabis. We have cannabinoid receptors in our brain, which means that it reduces inflammation. And I'm not going to say it's healthy for you, but it's something that our ancient ancestors certainly consumed. And so to criminalize that, and not criminalize these synthetic pain medicines that cause physical, like nasty physical withdrawal symptoms and just hurt people, is just a huge hypocrisy in the world. It really is. It's just a huge hypocrisy in the world. And it is what it is, but yeah, it's all good. I'm not mad at the Bears. Like, I'm not mad at the Bears. Bears, y'all are okay. As long as, I get it. To get on my good side, I just want one bearish person to be like, yo, I was wrong over the last 6 months. And I'm kind of just trolling you guys. It's okay. We can have fun in the morning. It's early. I'm just drinking my coffee, And Bitcoin dipping down to 30.4 thousand. Yeah, I feel you, financial. How many broccoli trees you see? I mean, it's not universally true. But like if you look at like the biggest superfoods, which include avocados, berries, fish, um, mushrooms, turmeric, nuts and seeds, you know what I mean? Herbs, cherries, stuff like that. It's all pretty, those are all things that you could, like, if you really think about it, that our ancient ancestors had access to. Broccoli, I don't know. Broccoli has sulforaphane in it, which is said to reduce inflammation, but I don't know. I got into Topstep with your link yesterday. Hey, thanks so much, Greens. Should I buy a course? Bob, you know what you're doing, bro. Come on. I bet you money we go into a recession, though. I'm not going to bet money. I'm not really a big gambler. I'm really not. I don't really bet money on a lot of stuff. Like what I will bet, one time me and Isaac bet that he could call me Tom Brady for a week and I could call him, man, what did I say I would call him? It was about a stock going up or down. If you want to think of a good one there, we can make that bet, sir. But you believe we are not close to a recession? Honestly, man, I don't really know. I really don't know here. I think like if you look at the next GDP expectations, they're expecting 2%, which signals that we're not going to hit a recession this next quarter. Now maybe the quarter after that, maybe later this year. I really don't know. It depends on what the market does. I think it's still pretty split whether we hit a recession or not. I think we're looking a lot better than we were a quarter ago in terms of not hitting a recession, but I certainly still think it's possible. All right, we're going to do a poll here as well. And I think that's a great poll. I'm going to do that poll. Do we hit a recession this year? Yes or no? Look at the trend of the markets before election. Yeah. Yeah, so GDP data. Again, a recession is technically defined as 2 losing GDP quarters. I believe GDP data drops next, mixed with high unemployment. Unemployment has gone down some over last month. You know what I mean? So it's gone down, which is signaling better, less fears of a recession. Again, GDP data expected to show up at 2%. So that's a positive sign as well. I can't remember what it was last time. I think last time it was like 1.1%, if I remember last quarter. So yeah, in that regard, 2% is good. Yeah, I mean, I think we did actually technically. Do you really believe those numbers are real? Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we could argue. I could use that argument to get out of anything, Like I really can. I could use that market to get out of anything. Like I could say, hey, the stock market's going to crash tomorrow. And then when it doesn't crash and like the S&P gaps up 10% or something, I could say, but do you really think those buys on the S&P 500 are real? You know? But what's the point of that? You know, we got to go by the numbers they give us. You know, I think when you look at it objectively, when you look at current inflation getting noticeably better, inflation has gotten noticeably better. The Fed paused during the last rate cycle as well. And we got the next Fed meeting next week on Wednesday too. But I think, again, I'm pretty neutral on whether we hit a recession. It's not like I'm pushing that we're definitely not going to hit a recession. I'm never saying that. I said, I don't know. I'm pretty split because I'm pretty split. I think we certainly could hit a recession this year. It's not like I'm pushing that we're never, ever going to hit a recession in a million years. I think we certainly could hit one. But I think it's also very possible that we don't. And so we'll see. I don't know. Depends on what GDP data shows up as and unemployment. Carvana is moving again. Yeah, see Carvana popping up some. You buy the Netflix dip. Netflix is at 444s. So I don't know about the Netflix dip. I think you could argue to buy it, but I don't know. Netflix at 444, but the PE ratio, I have to look to see what the PE is of Netflix. Netflix daily chart's a little too extended on the upside for me to really want to buy it. I think we need to pull back a little bit first. Inflation is at a high every year. Yeah, but CPI inflation data has gone down every single month for 12 months in a row. And so prices are certainly less than they were a year ago. And that's without question. Again, even you could look at gas and food, which are the two main purchases that humans make. You could look at gas and food. Those prices are certainly down. And so it's not really arguable whether inflation has gotten better over the last 365 days. It's not really arguable. Inflation has certainly gotten better. Again, I streamed the CPI exactly a year ago. I remember when it was as high as it was. I remember what gas prices were in my area. They were like $6, $7 a gallon. Now they're half that. And so we have seen a noticeable decrease in prices, and that's objectively true. Now, whether that's going to continue, I don't know. And it really depends on what the Fed wants to do. If they raise rates during the next cycle, what they do. Again, the next Fed meeting is going to be on the 26th, so in 6 days from now, and we'll see what they do. I'm not sure. Yeah, you're actually right. Food is up 5.7%. Just to correct myself, food is up 5.7% in the 12 months ending in June. So last month. So you're right. Food is up 5.7%. But I guess the better word for it is that it's slowing. Now we'll see if it does or not. But meats have gone down in price. So meats, poultry, fish, and eggs are actually down in price as well over the last 12 months. So some food is up, some food is down, just to clarify. But the rate at which it's increasing, prices go up long term, I guess is the point. Like inflation happens, prices go up long term. The rate at which it's improving is down. So to put it into perspective, in 2021, food inflation was 6.3%. In 2022, food inflation was 10.4%. In 2023, this year, it's only 5.7%. So it's literally half what it was last year in terms of food inflation. Now, that's what I mean by food prices are getting better. Like, it's slowing. We're still having inflation year to year, but that's just an inevitable thing. But it's getting a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, financial. Like I said, definitive statements are usually something that, like, I don't like. I don't like definitive statements, man. I think the more market experience you gain, the more you realize we just don't know what's going to happen. American Airlines reported earnings, but it's falling. Why does this happen? So let's take a look at American Airlines here. AAL. They're down big. I'll tell you why, Alexis. Give me a second. So American Airlines, Philip Morris. American Airlines posted 192 EPS versus 158 expected. Revenue of 14 billion versus 13.7 billion. They lifted their fiscal year EPS view from 3 to 3.75, expected 309. CEO said, quote, our operation is performing at historically strong levels. We have worked to refresh our fleet and build a comprehensive. I don't know why American Airlines down. I might buy it up right here, though. It's a reasonable share size, like 75. This one doesn't really move that much, so I'm thinking like 50. What would we be buying them? All right, so we're filled. We bought the ask price. We got filled at 18.25, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this dip. Again, they did have good EPS, good sales. I don't know why they were down. Typically, I like to buy these dips after big drops. So we'll give it time. But again, I'm not telling you guys to do it too. Yeah, they did have strong guidance. They raised their guidance. So again, you never really know why these stocks drop. But again, typically when we get good guidance, good sales, good rev, I don't mind buying pullbacks afterwards. But you also have to look at like the long-term chart. And this is something that I kind of glanced at as well. Here's a weekly chart for American Airlines. They've had a good year too. They were about half the price. But I still think like they're down since 21 and they have a weak long-term chart, so I still think there might be some potential upside here. Maybe I'm wrong though, who knows, we'll see. Yeah, you must be looking at the wrong American Airlines, Stuart. I just bought some. You can see the big gap down in American Airlines. I'll put the numbers up on screen, but again, I did just buy some shares here. They also raised guidance too. So again, I don't know why they're down. This is one of the reasons like earnings can't, like you're never going to be able to predict earnings accurately. It's something that like a lot of new traders get involved with the market and they think that, hey, I can just sit around and wait for a company to report good EPS and good sales and then just buy it and it'll go up. The problem is that very quickly traders realize that like sometimes earnings reactions are nonsensical. Like sometimes they just don't make sense. Like sometimes the stock can have great EPS, great sales, lift guidance, and then still drop big percentages, you know? So it's certainly not a given thing in terms of reactions for earnings. And it is something that you got to just understand, hey, we don't really know how it's going to react. One of my favorite things to do is look for stuff like this, like dips like this. But again, we don't really know what's going to happen. I have no idea what Tesla and Netflix are going to do specifically today, RJ. Genuinely no idea. Guys, what do you think? Tesla up or down? I have no idea, man. No idea. I think the short-term momentum is probably on the upside for Tesla, but I think it could do ultimately anything. We don't really know. I mean, I'm not going to get mad at you. I just kind of frown on definitive statements, man. And again, if you want me to be really honest with you guys about this, anytime I see somebody give a super definitive statement about what something's going to do short term, I'm usually looking at them like they know less about what they're talking about. Because again, I think anybody that makes big definitive statements publicly without necessarily knowing, there's typically two things that happens depending on the two different outcomes, right? If the stock does what they say it will, they act like they're just the greatest guru ever and that they made their accurate prediction and they just repeat it over and over again. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. If it doesn't do what they said it would, there's two different things. They say, hey, the numbers are wrong, or manipulation is what they'll say. That's the first group of what they say. They say the numbers are wrong or manipulation. The second thing is they'll just not show up. You'll just never see them again. They'll create another account and then come back and make another big, bold prediction. That's probably wrong. I guess the easiest way to put it is like the more definitive statements you make about what the future is going to look like, the less I trust your predictions. Just regardless of whether you're right or wrong. Because again, I think traders that actually have a lot of experience understand that nobody freaking knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows, especially short term, especially something with like, hey, Tesla's going to go up or down today. Nobody freaking knows, man. We could bet on it. I think the more you zoom out, the easier those predictions get, but they still need to just be predictions. But the shorter term it is, the less anybody knows. Yeah, we're going to be trading futures. How's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's nice today. It's over 30,000. The XRP judgment about it not being a security is causing a lot of hype and interest for crypto. A lot of people are saying that's a huge W for crypto. I'll probably trade both of those, the NASDAQ and the E-mini VT. A little bit of both, man. I talk to my dogs all the time, dude. My mom does the same thing. Like my mom, she'll talk to the dogs like it's a person. And honestly, when I talk to my kids, again, we bought American Airline. We'll see if it holds. SPY actually dipping down a little bit short term. So here's some drops in the SPY. SPY currently at 450, 460s. But when I talk to my kids, I talk to them like people. I don't talk to them like little babies. I talk to them like people. I always have. I never dumb down the things I'm saying to them. I always try to talk to them like a person, like grown-ups, because when I talk to them like that, it makes them pick up things better. It makes them understand language better earlier. And so I never really did baby talk with my son or anything like that, or with my daughter. I always just kind of talk to them like people, talk to them like grown-ups. And I think that's good. I think studies have shown that that's good. My son got his standardized testing. Again, I'm bragging a little bit because I'm proud of my son. He did great. But my son's in the 90th percentile for math. He's in the 95th percentile for English. And he's doing really well. He's doing really well. If you don't know what that means, it means in terms of standardized testing, he's smarter than 90% of people in math, than 95% of kids at his level. I'm not even going to say smarter. Smarter might not be the right word. He is more proficient than 90% of other kids his age in mathematics and 95% of kids his age in English. And I'd like to think that me talking to him like an adult helped him. But let me know what you guys think. With that said, though, I think it might happen with dogs as well. I think if you talk to your dogs more, they're going to kind of understand. I don't know if they're going to understand what you're saying. Dogs are actually masters of reading body language. So you think they're hearing you, but they're actually just reading your body language. Anyways, I'm rambling. Somebody said Lulu. It's kind of ironic. Somebody said, hey, thanks for reminding me of Lulu. I don't really like Lulu long term. I think short term it might go up, but long term I'm skeptical. I just think it's too much risk for me to sit on. It's not like I'm shorting Lululemon, but it's just, I don't trust it long enough term to buy it. Bet your son swears. He honestly does. Honestly, he admitted that to me the other day. He said he never said it, and he like, and I didn't even get mad at him. I'm just kind of like, all right, bro. I probably curse more than they. Yeah. But no, he admitted that to me the other day. He said sometimes when you're not around, I curse, and he felt bad about doing it, and he just wanted to tell me, to be honest, which I respected even more. I'm never gonna get mad at him if he comes at me like that. I just told him he better not be saying the F word. Yeah. Oh, I believe that life. Dude, just come out and say it. Your boy is a genius. He kind of is, man. He's super smart. But he's also a little bit socially awkward. Like he, kind of like me, I guess. You might not realize, but I'm not a people person. I'm kind of an introvert. I could force myself to be outgoing and extroverted, but I just don't like it. If it was my choice, I'd be a homebody and I'd sit at home and watch movies. Carol mentioned it a year ago at 300, and you said the exact same thing then too about Lulu. I bought 100 shares. I took her word. Tell her thanks. Yeah, but I mean, my view, again, I think what happens a lot of the time is that I say, hey, I don't like Lulu long term. And then Lulu goes up over, a year period of time, and they're like, see, I told you. And it's like, well, yeah, but I've said this many times. Lulu's a money-making machine. My wife shops at Lulu still. They went to Lululemon yesterday, So like they still shop at Lululemon. Obviously Lululemon makes lots of money and might go up over the next few years. I'm talking about in 20 years from now, and that's something, if you're really paying attention to what I'm saying, I've been saying that. Like I've been saying that I don't trust it long term because I think fashions and styles change. Short term, they're the big thing right now. So obviously their stock's probably going to go up. My skepticism is through long-term outlook, Yeah, Tesla trying to dip back down. I'm still in AAL. I'm just going to take it off the screen so I'm not like obsessing over this trade. Here's Tesla. Tesla down to 280s. Is it time to buy the dip? We also did a poll here this morning. 59% think no, we don't hit a recession. 41% think yes. So interesting. Lulu is the next Jinkos. Hey, Jinkos, the goats. My ex stole my card and bought $1,500 worth of Lulu. So for $1,500 at Lululemon, you probably got like a skimpy little baseball hat and a pair of shorts, right? Everybody knows. All the men in here know exactly what I'm talking about. But no, we'll see what happens with it. It's all good. Again, Bitcoin at 30.4 thousand, so over 30K. Fubu. Oh man, it's been a while since I've heard Fubu. What's up, Tobias? All right, Tesla up to 279.40s here. We'll see what happens. We're watching American Airlines too. Ooh, American Airlines is up nice already, man. I didn't even notice. Okay. Should I take profit in American Airlines? I mean, I'm already up nicely on it. Our average price is 25s. We're at 45s right now, so we're up nicely on it. I think I could probably lock in like a 25 share position here. Let's see if I can get a mid price. I'd like to get. Oh, there we go. All right, I got a partial fill. It filled. How many? It filled 10 shares, I think. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Just gonna lock it in so I'm not worried about it. Carvana gonna see 100. Thoughts on PACW? Isn't that a bank? Yeah, Carvana, man, I don't think it's going to go bankrupt. It's making too much money right now in their stock. As a public company, they're making too much to go bankrupt right now, I think, right? All right, I'm going to put a timer up. It's about 7:30. We still got a lot of data coming out today. We got about an hour. This is going to be close enough for the timer. Just put the timer up there. Carvana has that $1 billion offering they put out with earnings yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. It's like 35 million shares. So dilution, that's about 35 million shares of Carvana. Which let's check the float for Carvana to see how much of an impact that that offering is really going to do. So Cvna has a float size of, I'm showing they're adding 50% to their float, 75 million shares. This 35 million offering is diluting their company. All right, so there's the other fill of American Airlines. We just got the other fill, and now we're just sitting tight on 25 shares. We locked in the price. Tesla's still dipping down. Is there an argument for a dip buy? And then here's the SPY right here. So the SPY at 450, 460s here, 450, 460s. Let's see what American Airlines ends up doing still. I'm going to hold the rest and be patient with it. But again, these type of trades are my bread and butter, man. Like, there's a reason I'm green on the year doing all this stuff. And the reason I'm green on the year is because I'm patient and I wait for trades like this on American Airlines. And so thank you, Alexis. I think you brought this one up. And again, it makes sense, right? Like, think about it. Sometimes some of my favorite moves are in earnings because there can be big overreactions in earnings where like stocks move up and down, have big reactions up and down. I wish it would show me a better profit graph. All right, let's see if the market bounces. All right, so yeah, this float. My question was the offering already put in place, guys? Was the offering for Carvana already put in place is the question. Yeah, for sure, Alexis. Again, I've told people this, but I'm going to preface everything here so you guys understand. Number one, I'm not guaranteeing you make money. I'm not claiming you're going to make money. I'm not saying you're going to make money. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I do, right? But what I am going to say is that I'm green on the year in TOS. I'm green on the year in Moo, you know, in actual like trading profits, right? I'm green on the year in Moo in actual trading profits. I'm green on the year in TOS in actual trading profits. So with that, the swing trading strategy that I use works. It just works for me. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you, but it works for me. And, you know, to understand it, it's based off of extension. You know, whenever like a common theme that I really see typically every time I take these trades is that when I'm buying something, a lot of people are telling me it's a bad trade, which shows me that a lot of people don't really understand like this type of trade. When I buy something, a lot of people are telling me it's bad, you know, because again, I think sometimes like, I think new traders sometimes when they see like a huge gap down, they're like, oh man, it's super weak. I would never buy it. It's so weak. It's gapping down 30%. But I think when you start to consider, hey, is this a healthy company? And what's the likelihood that it's going to bounce back from this? I think the odds go really far skewed in your favor once you start to take positions based off of that. With that said, though, American Airlines dipping all the way back down to 1820s. But again, I did take at least 50% of the trade off already. And I'll probably just own the rest. We're still green on the trade, too. I think I'll probably just try to let it work a little bit more. If it really starts to break lows, I can get out flat. But we're green nonetheless on this. But I guess the point is that regardless of whether this individual trade works, number one, we're green on it. We already took profit. But regardless of whether this individual trade works, the thing to understand is that when you diversify into many of these different trades, right? So I could buy American Airlines. Another example is like Netflix. Netflix, like 6 months ago, had really bad, or no, it was Amazon. Amazon had a really bad reaction to earnings, and they didn't really have that bad of earnings. They had like a beat on EPS and a miss on sales, and then like guidance was neutral. So it was kind of mixed results for earnings, but Amazon tanked 20% on that result. And so at the time, I was like, man, Amazon's down 20% in like a day just from their earnings report. I'm going to buy this dip and see if we get a short-term bounce. And sure enough, and then everybody at the time was like, oh no, Amazon is so weak. It's gapping down 20%. What are you doing, bro? This dude doesn't know how to trade. And they were just saying all this different stuff. And then like a day or two later, Amazon had bounced back like 10% in a day, and I was up really nice in the trade. And those are the type of trades that are my favorite trades to get involved with. The big key to these type of trades, though, is that you have to be patient and wait for it. Like, you're not going to find these typically every day. Sometimes you can find them multiple times a week, but they're swing trades. I'm not going to get into them every single day for the most part. I can take a day trade like American Airlines, but I'm not going to just take these trades every single day. A huge part of profitable trading, I think, is just waiting for the right moves, like waiting for the good trades to get involved with. And with that said, American Airlines bouncing right back to where it was, so that's good. I don't know if American Airlines undervalued. I'm not even going to say that. Alexis, what I'm saying is like this is a swing trade over a couple day period. I don't know how long I'm going to hold this. What's going to tell me whether I want to hold it long term is stuff like the PE ratio and the long term chart. American Airlines, if you put up a yearly chart, this thing is up big on the year, even including this gap down. Like, it's gapping down. It doesn't have a huge range, so it's at 1840s right now. If you pull up a yearly chart on American Airlines, it's up a lot. It started the year off at about 14s. It's currently at almost 20 now. So it's up a lot on the year. It's typically not something that I'm going to like holding long term because it's just up too much short term. Now, you put up a weekly chart, it's a different story. And so it might be the argument for the argument if you're going to buy American Airlines would be like long term, like not in a year. I'm talking like 5 years. You're still probably going to make money. But again, that's kind of pivoting more towards investing. And again, that might be good. Like a weekly chart looks extended on the downside. A daily chart looks extended on the upside. So that's kind of my stance on it. So when I take this trade on American Airlines, it's just a quick little dip buy from extension on the downside, no overreaction to earnings. But my plan 100% is to take profit sometime today or tomorrow. But we'll see. No, and it's all good. You might view it differently, and it doesn't mean either one of us are right or wrong, Alexis. It really doesn't. Like, I might be right, you might be right. It doesn't really matter either way. Just take your own convictions. Again, if there's one thing that I can teach everybody at home, it's like every single one of my profitable trades. I bought Target a couple days ago. People hated on it. I bought Snapchat a year ago. People hated on it. I bought Disney over and over again. People hate on it. So every single one of my profitable trades that I've made on swing trading over the last year, somebody hated on that trade. And so you don't want to let anybody else influence your trades too heavily. You always got to have your own conviction and just kind of do what you want to do. If you want to get in cheaper Tesla as an ETF, yeah, I know that. My main goal is 400 a day, but I will take 100 and run singles and doubles. What's your account size to where you're looking for $400 a day, though, Alan? Let me get Discord up. Where's Pawn at? I don't know if Pawn's here. I don't know if I've seen him today. All right, so American Airlines up to 1850s right now. 1850s. All right, so 1850s on American Airlines. Jobless claims are okay. 100K? Okay, yeah, 100K is fine. You know, you get some people here, they're like, yeah, man, my goal is to make $500 a day. I'm like, well, what's your account size? 5,000. It's like, okay. You're going with 10% a day, huh? Yeah. But no, 100K is fine. Yeah, it's all about you making money for yourself, 100%. And again, I have a distinct edge that a lot of people don't have. And that distinct edge is that regardless of what my trading results are, I'm gonna make good money every day, no matter what. I could lose $500 in trading and still be green on the day, despite trading results. You know, and so I have a very distinct edge over most people, which is that I make money from just talking about the stock market right here. And so defense stocks could be massive here. All big three oversold on the RSI 2 to 3 reports next week. LMC blew out the earnings release this week and then sold off. Why is that? Because I make money from this live stream, you know. My American Airline position is 1825. Yeah, man, Paul. And if you're in the chat, I miss those days with my daughter, man. Again, like I said, now it's like pulling teeth trying to get my 14-year-old to hang out with me. It switches those. It goes from like princesses, like, you know, with my daughter, she was all into princesses. She loved princesses. Now she wouldn't rock a princess shirt if I forced her to. But it pivots. It goes from like princesses, young, and all that stuff. Then now my daughter's 14, and so now she can actually like watch movies with me, like watch actual movies that I enjoy. The other day we watched the movie Pandorum. What an underappreciated movie. Pandorum was just a great movie with Dennis Quaid and the blonde-haired dude. Just a good movie, man. Look at Tesla bounce up though. Tesla at 279.70 here. We'll see if it holds. Carvana popping up a little bit. Yeah, Carvana up to about $58, right under 60. 60 seems like it's a resistance level. We'll see if it holds, but yeah. Yeah, it was a great movie, man. My daughter likes sci-fi. She's like my sci-fi buddy. And so we were watching that movie, and she loved it. She thought it was good. I told her when I started the movie, I hadn't seen it in like 5 years. And I told her, I was like, this is one of those movies that will kind of stick with you afterwards. Like, it's such kind of like a mind-bending movie that you remember it when you watch it. And so I told her that, and she was like, eh. And then we watched it. It was good. Carvana, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, she's seen all the major movies. I'm a big movie buff. You know, so like I've shown her all the appropriate greatest movies, like Ferris Bueller, Back to the Future, all of the Back to the Future movies, all the Steven Spielberg movies, Jaws. You know, I've showed her some Quentin Tarantino ones, only a couple because not many are appropriate. I've shown her some Scorsese, but that's going to come in. She's not going to be able to watch those for at least a few years. I've showed her Christopher Nolan movies. He's my favorite director, so we've seen a lot of them, like Interstellar and the Batman Dark Knight movie. I placed an order for 1780s for American Airlines. Am I right? I mean, you're right so far, bro. It's at 1850 right now, dude. I don't know. I bought it at 1825. I have no idea whether you're right or not. Is the Philly Fed higher good for stocks? Maybe. It might be good. We don't really know. Again, Philly Fed expected at today is the 20th. So yeah, the Philly Fed data today is expected at minus 10. It measures manufacturing and the relative level of business conditions among manufacturers in the Fed Reserve District. Above zero indicates improving manufacturing conditions. Below zero indicates worsening conditions. And the expectations for the Philly Fed Index is minus 10. And so, but realistically, we don't know how the market's going to respond to this. With stuff like manufacturing, you don't know if the market wants to see higher or lower. You don't know whether the market wants strength or weakness in manufacturing. I'll tell you this: if the market fears inflation, they're going to want a lower number, because a lower number means worse manufacturing conditions, less people working, and ultimately potential price drops. A higher number, if the market's fearing a recession, they're going to want a higher number. So they're going to want growth and strengthening in manufacturing. But it's certainly not like a given reaction. It's certainly not something where we know exactly how we're going to react based off of a specific reading here. We just got to wait and see. Conventionally, higher is better, or lower is worse, but sometimes the market doesn't move with convention. So let me know what you guys think the reaction will be to the Philly Fed Index. We also have jobless claim numbers expected at 242,000, 242K. This is basically how many people are filing for unemployment. 242,000. The last time was 237, so we're expecting a slight uptick relative to last time. Of course, I like the movie Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great movie. I think there's some big irony with the movie Wolf of Wall Street. The irony, and I've said this before, I even made like a tweet and a TikTok and all some stuff about it, but the irony of that movie is like Leonardo DiCaprio freaking hates he hates people like Jordan Belfort. He says they're like the worst people ever in the world. He says that the world would be better off without people like Jordan Belfort and all this stuff. And he's come out publicly to say all this different stuff, right? Now, the irony is that like the Wolf of Wall Street is really a movie about like, it's warning people about like obsessive greed and like how that can be bad for you and bad for the world. Like that's the overall point of the movie. The whole point of the movie is like greed is bad. Like it's not good. Like it ends up, it'll backfire on you in the end and it's just not worth it is the whole point of the movie. But the true outcome of that movie is that a lot of people watched The Wolf of Wall Street and they got deeply inspired to be like Jordan Belfort. It created a million Jordan Belfort clones out there that are creating Twitter accounts called Stratton Oakmont and like all this stuff. Like there's so many Jordan Belfort clones. Jordan Belfort is more famous than ever now. He's like a huge social media star and personality now because they made that movie. And so the irony is that it was a movie about why greed is bad, but a large majority, I'm not going to say a majority of people, but a lot of people that watched it just got deeply inspired to turn into Jordan Belfort after watching it. And so I can't help but point out the irony there. And I think it's a little funny, but hey, let me know. Did you like The Wolf of Wall Street? Let me know in chat if you liked it. Market doesn't like too low Philly index. Maybe. All right, team. Yeah, the Big Short's really what inspired me to start learning trading in the stock market. fans. Same thing happened after the Great Gatsby movie, ironically also starting Leo. Yeah, maybe Raz, but I think at a much less degree of it happened after. I think the Wolf of Wall Street was just a much better movie than the Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby was bad. I didn't like it. It was too, again, you can tell the same director that did the Great Gatsby did the new Elvis movie, because I didn't like the new Elvis movie either. I thought it was horrible. Too many quick cuts. They tried to make it too stylish to where it just ruined the story. And the same thing happened with the Great Gatsby. Like they tried to I like Jay-Z, okay, but if I can't go if the scene can't cut without playing Jay-Z in the 20s, in the 1920s, like bro, you're ruining the movie. And so I never got down with the Great Gatsby remake because I just thought they tried too hard to make it stylish. And with that, I thought the Great Gatsby was much more disappointing in terms of results, where the Wolf of Wall Street was like huge, influential, and like culturally impactful. I don't think the Great Gatsby remake was. I think that one kind of flopped. Carvana over 58. So let's even test $60 here. You can see Tesla bouncing all the way back. We can put up like the Q here as well. Here's the Q on the left side. Let's see where we are now. So we are down on the day on the Q, but we still got time to the opening bell. Still got about 45 minutes. All right, Carvana. Let's see if it holds. Y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. And again, hit the like button if you haven't yet. We appreciate the love and support. Let's keep the growth up here. We're going to start to try to trade. All right, we're going to try to build a cushion up. All right, look at Tesla start to bounce. We did buy some NASDAQ short. We bought 5 contracts of the mini NASDAQ here. I'm going to see if we flush down is the goal. We can take some profit if we do. Only 5 contracts of the micro NASDAQ. We're about flat in this position here. And I don't mind losing a little bit. We'll give it time. We had a nice little green day yesterday. It's the micro NASDAQ, so I think we do have to give it a little bit of time. Gonna have to cut it pretty soon. The NASDAQ just moves so quick. Look at Tesla all the way back to 281s. We're only down 35 bucks on this one, so it's pretty small and light. I got a big upwick. I'll update you guys on what's going on here. Again, here's the Q on the left, Tesla on the right. Tesla bouncing back up to 280s. You think Tesla will bounce off of pre-market lows? I think it could. All right, so we're about flat on this trade right now. Tesla up to 281s almost. I am trading futures right now for it. So I'm trading the NASDAQ futures. And so in futures, you can day trade short. You know, I can buy market, sell market, buy bid, sell the ask, but there's no PDT rule. And so I can do it without restriction by the PDT rule. The funded account program I'm using is called Topstep. They are a sponsor of mine. But in this, they give you a demo and they test your skill. And the base one's 50K and it's 49 bucks. And so it's very cheap. And you kind of have the best of both worlds. I'm going to cut this trade. We lost about $60 here, and that's all right. It's small. But yeah, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can hit the base one, they give you a 50K demo. If you can hit 3,000 in profit without losing over 2,000, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit. So you make 20K for your first profit. You get to keep your first 10K, and then the next 9,000, they only get to keep 1,000 of your first 20K in profit. Since they're funding you that money, they keep 1,000, but the rest you basically get the same reward that you would, but much less risk. If you lose the top step combine, you're only down 49 bucks right now. And I'm not sure how long the sale will last, but it's limited risk and the rewards are still the same. So it's like if you're learning to day trade, or even if you're good enough to pass it, but you just don't have the money to do it, a funded account program is useful. And the patterns in futures move very similar to the patterns in stocks. Like if you look at the NASDAQ right now, it looks a lot. Look at the Q and then look at Tesla. Dip, bounce on the Q. If I extend this out, you can kind of see dip, bounce, dip, bounce. And so it's very similar price action, but there's no PDT restrictions. But yeah, if you want to check them out, here's the link. Again, they are a sponsor of mine. Hey, what's up, Shepard? All right, next stack is starting to bounce a little bit. The NASDAQ is starting to bounce a little bit. AI in control, yeah. NASDAQ popping up big. Tesla starting to bounce back. All right, guys. Carvana been flying up, man. Carvana's still at around 58 bucks. Tesla's starting to dip down a little bit now, too. I'm holding one Tesla call. I'll probably roll it out further and get another. Hey, good luck, man. Microsoft broke the trend line on the 15-minute. Yeah, I haven't looked at Microsoft lately. Microsoft just went green on the day, so it did go green. Gold rip. Yeah, gold's been popping up. I'm in gold too, so I've just kind of been letting it come back. How's American Airline doing? I'm still in that one. All right, so it's back up to 1840s, mostly consolidating. That's all right. All right, guys, be ready. Jobless claims data comes out in about 30 minutes here. 30 minutes. We got about 450 people here. Still got 30 minutes to go. The market is too extended. I don't know. Market pulling back a little bit. You can see the Q pulling back some, but not actually a ton. Here, let's look at the S&P. Here's the SPY. What other earnings came out today? I know we had some other earnings drop today. Let me see. It was Nokia, American Airlines, Abbott. Freaking Abbott, man. How did they do? Hopefully they did bad, but I doubt it. Abbott, BDPS, beat on revenue. Boo. Have you ever traded international stocks? Not really. I mean, I've bought stocks that were listed on the U.S. market that weren't U.S. based, but I've never bought stocks in other markets. No. American Airlines still pumping up some here. Long S&P today. Yeah, I mean, the market's trying. The SPY's trying to. It's just chop. Low liquidity right now. I get Tesla dipping down. It's at 280s. Rejecting at that 200 EMA. Which is down there. We're watching that too. TSM did horrible. Did it really? American Airline back up to about 1850s. TSM, yeah, gapping down. Market will pump again because algos keep buying. They want to make bears. Apple should test the $200 today. Yeah, Apple got close yesterday, didn't it? I think it got right up to $200, right? Apple at 194.30s. Tesla should bounce. Not a lot more people will be selling. Yeah, I mean, it's down. I think when they announced the Cybertruck, we're probably going to have some pretty big gains in it, but Cybertruck is 1.7 million orders. Tesla should bounce. Not a lot more. Yeah. AMAM receives FDA fast track designation for prostate cancer drug, up 700% year to date. Will silver go up? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Apple does control the market. It's the most heavily weighted stock on the S&P. All right, so there's the 8 a.m. scrum right now. So we still got 30 minutes before the actual data comes out, but there's the 8 a.m. scrum. It's popping up a little bit. Netflix is a great dip buy. What's the PE ratio on Netflix right now? That's my question here, though, like regarding Netflix. What's the PE? Hopefully American Airlines continues to pump. Apple at 194.30s. Oh yeah, well then it's not the best for PE. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not like super cheap. Apple testing, the previous range high up there. The previous range high was at about 1943s or so. It's at 1930s. Again, we'll see what the SPY does. Here's Tesla here trying still too. But let me know whether you think Tesla's cheap right now. All right, so the Nasdaq's starting to turn down a little bit. All right, so SPY gapping up. Tesla still at 280s. We can look at Apple here. Apple up this morning again at about 194.40s. That's much better. I like the filled candlestick. Let me save this so that sticks. There we go. That's better. Did you see that spike in American Airlines to 1908 and then back down to 1840s? That's probably the 8 a.m. scrum. So at 8 a.m., a lot of rogue orders from the previous night get filled. And so that like pops a lot of the price action on different charts up to specific levels. But it doesn't actually mean the stock gapped up to those levels or not.
It's usually just kind of like a rogue order that went through that artificially made it look like it was a huge run and then dump, but it wasn't actually it wasn't actually that. Yeah, we'll see. V, I'm not sure, man. Well, this is a spot ETF, John, so this is a little bit different. They tried to do the ETF. They need approval though, so they haven't actually gotten approved. And a lot of the hype that we're getting recently is on hope that they'll be approved for that stuff. You know, if Jobless starts over at 4%, I think we'll see a recession. Yeah, so American Airlines is back up here. Tesla testing that 200 EMA level, which might be a big relevant level here as well. Meta's down too, is it really? At 314s. What's up, Hustle? The word AI triggers everything in this market. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what's up, Wesley? Yeah, the rate hike next week is going to be big. Should be really fun to watch and really interesting to pay attention to. We'll see if they raise rates again. I think they'll probably raise rates during the next meeting. I think that's pretty likely. So again, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We certainly appreciate it. Nvidia down. Yeah, I see the microchip sector down, but they're on a crazy run. They're not going to hold most of their gains, or they're not going to hold some of their gains. They might hold them, but I think Nvidia it's okay for a pullback. I think they're just up so much that it's normal to pull back some. It should be around 5% correction when it happens. This will still pounce maybe. Yeah, so what I said was like, okay, Carvana, this offering is supposed to be for 35 million shares. From what I'm seeing on a couple different platforms, Carvana has a float size of 75 million shares. So what that means is that this is a 50% offering, basically. A little bit less than 50%, but still pretty close. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Again, and give me a follow on Twitter if you guys have not already. Again, will the Fed raise rates during the next meeting? We also asked people whether they thought the market would hit a recession or not. We got about 400 votes. 46% say yes, we do hit a recession this year. 54% think no, we don't. Carvana's starting to dip back down at 56.70 here, 56.70. So Carvana's still dropping. All right, guys. What's your expectation? I'm not sure. I don't know what we're going to get, man. Yeah, so Tesla actually had a pretty good earnings report, honestly. They had good EPS, good sales. I think it depends on when they debut the Cybertruck. If it's actually going to be this year, I think it's great. If they try to push it back to next year, I think that's bad, of course. But time will tell, guys. Time will tell. Yeah, Johnson & Johnson dropped their earnings here. You can kind of see their earnings right here at the bottom. They did well. They beat EPS, beat sales. You can see those earnings right there. We are short in one contract of the E-mini. I'm going to let the breakdown happen some here. We are riding the breakdown. I want to give it some time. Microsoft is up. Yeah, I saw Microsoft go green on the day. Kramer says no recession. Oh, man, that's bad. At this point, you want Kramer pushing a recession with his accuracy. NVIDIA's starting to pull back to the volume-weighted average price. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, I don't know if to buy. The next Fed rate decision is going to be next week on Wednesday Eastern Standard Time at 2 p.m. is when they're going to announce the actual rate decision. At 2:30, they're going to do the actual press conference for it. Here's the queue. Yeah, I don't know if Kramer's saying that's necessarily a good thing. All right, guys, we got like 17 minutes left. Still riding this E-mini short down. We're up about $50. See if we make a little bit more from it. All right, Tesla's still consolidating here under the 200 EMA. Q pulling back over the last few minutes as well. Kramer's paid the pump companies. Yeah, that's kind of what goes down. All right, got jobless claims data. We got the Philly Fed Index data too today, guys. Remember, Philly Fed Index, jobless claims, all dropping today. It drops in about 15 minutes. It's just the 8 a.m. scrum. I'm preparing for a pullback when short on the SPY and TQ with puts out in September. Hey, good luck, man. Showing love from Hot Trades channel. What do you mean? All right, so Tesla's still consolidating. You can kind of see the range right here. We do have the Q bouncing up a little bit after the 200 EMA, but we're still kind of consolidating. Nvidia is right there at 466. We do have Carvana at 5730s here too. So yeah, I mean, no offense, Joe, but I'm not really trying to plug another channel, bro. If you view another channel, that's great, dude. No offense to him. He seems like a cool guy. Nothing against him or anything, but we're just not really trying to, plug competitors to me. I'm cool with some other traders though. Like I'm cool with like Bulldog Trading. He's got a great channel. Benzinga's great. I'm cool with them too. But just kind of random channels. I'll have to vet them. I'm not sure. I missed Tesla earnings. How'd it go? Tesla had better than expected EPS and sales, and then dropped on their release. So Tesla beat EPS, beat sales, dropped on their release. Yeah, all good, Joe. No worries, man. Like I said, even if you weren't trying to plug, it's all good, bro. No worries. Positive or negative? Well, the data came in positive. Tesla had good EPS, good sales. In terms of reactions, it reacted to the downside. You can kind of see the reaction here. So it had good EPS, good sales, but then dropped, at the lows, it dropped about 4%. It's since bounced back. It's only down about 3%. But again, like, people are acting like it's the end of the world. If you look at a 5-day chart for Tesla, this is a 5-day chart. So, I mean, Tesla's still doing incredibly strong over the last 5 days, despite their earnings. They did dip a little bit from their earnings, as you can see here, but yeah. Yeah, for sure. All good, Joe. All love too here, man. Yeah, you just got to understand my bias. Like, my bias is like a lot of the time we'll get the really small channels and they'll come in here and they'll be like, oh, hey guys, I'm going to go over there and we're watching this channel right now. Cough, cough, join the channel, cough, cough. And it's like, usually they just get booted out of here, but some channels are cool. I've seen Hot Trades before, the channel, I think. So he's like a larger one. So it's all good, bro. Tesla dropped their pants. Yeah. Only down minus 5% after minus 10%. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes before jobless claims and Philly Fed index data comes out. Yeah, Tesla up almost 300%. And that's what I was telling people. Like, and again, let me think of the easiest way to coin this, or to phrase this. People act like because I follow Tesla that I'm some super big conservative. I'm very neutral politically. Like, I dislike both sides. Like, honestly, the way I talk here, I probably piss off both sides of the political spectrum, in all honesty. Like, both sides probably dislike me. And so I guess that's where I'd kind of like to be. If I guess I'd rather it be that, than anything else. Because, again, I don't know. If I have to pick a side, I'm going neutral. I'm going in the middle. But I think a lot of people see me promote Tesla and they think I'm like some super big conservative. And I'm really not, honestly. I'm not going to go political, though, but I'm really not. But I think Tesla stock is interesting. And it's up like 300% on the year. But to be fair, Tesla is down. Like if we put up a weekly chart here. So like, yeah, Tesla's up 300% on the year. But prior to that, it was down. Last year, for instance, in March, it was at 350s. And so it's still red over the last couple years, despite being green on the year. And I think that's something we got to be honest about. The PE ratio of Tesla is neutral. It's a little bit high. It's like what? 50 or 80. It's something like that. And with that said, Tesla started to dip down here. Look at the 200 EMA rejection there. The Q starting to push down as well. And again, jobless claims data comes out. It's expecting 242,000 for jobless claims data, 242K for jobless claims versus 237 last time. So they're expecting a slight uptick in jobless claims. If you don't know what jobless claims are basically how many people are filing for unemployment. Basically, how many people are filing for unemployment. And again, we'll see. We also have the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which is a gauge on manufacturing. Again, a higher reading for the Philly Fed Index means more strength in manufacturing. A lower than expected reading or a negative reading means weakness in manufacturing. And they are expecting -10. So they are expecting worsening manufacturing conditions for the Philly Fed Index. And that's something that we're going to cover as well. We get, typically we get a bunch of people here for these releases because we covered the data very quickly. And we are going to prep for that right now and get all our sources up and ready. Man, it feels like Friday, but it's only Thursday. And wait, so chat, isn't the rebalancing of the NASDAQ tomorrow? Doesn't it take place tomorrow? Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but let me know. Yeah, dude, I start streaming at 6 a.m. every day, Alan. Y'all don't realize, a lot of people don't realize how early I start this live stream. Bro, we start streaming at 6 a.m. market time. We stream until like 10, 15, 10:30 market time. So we stream like 4 hours a day. We start early. We're kind of the early stream. And we typically get hundreds of people here early too, so. So we are getting some breakdowns and some stuff ahead of this data here. We still got about 8 minutes. This timer's a little bit off, actually, so I'm going to take this away. Timer's a little bit off. We got about 7 minutes left, 7 minutes. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button as well to make sure you're fully caught up. Rebalancing on the 24th. Really, I heard it was... they rebalanced last Friday. Okay, yeah, maybe my... I think it comes into effect Monday. Got you. 24th. Okay, got you. KMI earnings. I can try to look it up for you. Hold on. Morgan Stanley's wealth management adds a position in Meta Platforms and Johnson & Johnson. So Morgan Stanley bought Meta and Johnson & Johnson. Let me pull up the other earnings. Somebody asked me. Kinder Morgan. They posted neutral EPS that was in line at 24-cent profit versus estimates as 24 cents. Sales missed expectations, so slightly losing earnings for KMI. What are your expectations, positive or negative for what, David? Why is Carvana so high? Carvana's a short squeeze mostly. Like shorts are getting squeezed out of Carvana. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, United Airlines had good earnings. Netflix at 451.60s. So Netflix, the argument is like the PE ratio is not terrible, but it's not like amazing for Netflix either. All right, guys. Let's see what else we got today. I'm waiting for the data to come out. We got about 4 minutes left, a little bit over 4 minutes. Tesla is rejected at the 200 EMA. The Q is kind of straddling the 200 EMA. It's just kind of sitting there, and we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for something to show up here. Got about 600 people here. We still got about 4 minutes left. What is really going on with Tesla? What do you mean? Tesla is down on the last 24 hours, up over the last week. Posted good earnings, good EPS, good revenue relative to expectations. That's basically what Tesla's doing. They said They said the Cybertruck would debut later this year. Nasdaq will fall 0.8% with the news. My short on AMD from yesterday is doing decent. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm holding SOXS as well, so I'm holding a little bit of that one. We're kind of neutral on the day in our swing trades, though. We are up a little bit, I think, on American Airlines. I think we're still green there. Yeah, we're still green. Our average price is $18.25, so we bought it literally at the lows, which is nice. What do you guys think is going to happen here? So we did the recession poll, about 500 votes. Do we hit a recession this year? 53% say no. Let me know what you guys think. Do we hit a recession this year, guys? Let me know. All right, so SEC Gary Gensler said crypto is, quote, fraud, scams, and abuse, end quote, from Gary Gensler. Gary G. Man, this must be one of the biggest depreciating things. So in March of 21, the first tweet ever sold as an NFT for $2.9 million. The most recent bid is for $1.14. That's rough. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We got about 700 people here. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Well, there's always manipulation, to be honest, man. Like, that's just like a natural part of the market. There's always manipulation, bro. All right, make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Get ready, guys. Data coming out pretty soon. Again, I'm going to get flat on any day trades. We're still in our swing trades. We'll see what this rest of the market does. All right, guys, here we go. You can see the Q on the right side. I'm going to put up the SPY on the right, or the Q on the left. I'm going to put the SPY up on the right side here. Here's the SPY. I'm also going to throw it in sub-only mode. So if you have not already hit the subscribe button, help support your boy here in this channel. There's the link right there. Still got over a minute left, but hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're caught up. We got 700 here. Expected jobless claims are 242,000. $42K. And so again, 242K. Higher than that will signal more people filing for unemployment. Lower than that will signal less people filing for unemployment. 242K. It's dropping now. Again, we got about 30, 40 seconds here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We're still right in the heat of summer. Again, the Q is at 383.20s, guys. 383.20s. I'm going to wait for this to come out and then maybe day trade some more, but we're pretty flat in our day trades. All right, guys, 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you call back up on stream. Here goes the report. And there's the release right there. There's the release. Waiting here. Market hadn't really moved much. Okay, so there's jobless claims. 228,000 versus 242 expected. 228,000 versus 242 expected. The Philly Fed index came in at minus 13.5 versus minus 10 expected. So the Philly Fed Index was lower than expected, worsening manufacturing conditions than expected, and jobless claims came in lower than expected as well. So mixed results. Less people filed for unemployment relative to expectations, as well as relative to last time. Last time, jobless claims came in 237,000. This time they came in 228, so lower than last time, lower than expectations for jobless claims numbers, which means that less people filed for unemployment than originally expected, as well as less people than last time. The Philly Fed Index expected minus 10 for manufacturing conditions, minus 10. They ended up showing up at minus 13.5. Minus 13.5. So far, the market has slightly reacted negatively here. To be honest, the volume's still very light in the market today. Only a slight negative reaction here. And again, we'll see if any of this data holds. But so far, that is the reaction as well here, guys. Not really much of a reaction, but data came in mixed. Again, so neutral reactions kind of expected here. We had lower than expected jobless claims, which means less people filed for unemployment than originally thought, as well as lower than expected Philly Fed manufacturing index, which means that manufacturing had a little bit more worsening conditions than expected here. The market is dropping down some, but again, very slight reaction, not really much here, but neutral results, so not a super shock there as well. All right, got a little bounce back. Cvna starting to dip, test the previous closing price at 56. 56 for Cvna. Again, we'll see if we hold. The data's really not terrible, honestly. Like it's not. It's. I wouldn't say it's horrible. Surely both of these are negative for the market, strong labor market and higher risk of recession indicators. Not necessarily. I mean, you could interpret it as, I mean, you could always look at it the bear side of things. I think jobless claims coming in lower than expected is good. It means less people were out of work, more people are working. The manufacturing sector indicated slightly worsening conditions, but it wasn't that bad relative to expectations. So, I mean, again, I think it's pretty mixed results. I think we're looking at it in the lens of economic growth versus inflation fears. And on jobless claims, we saw economic growth with more people working. And with Philly Fed Index, we saw worse manufacturing conditions, and so it was kind of mixed results. One was good for one was good for economic growth, one was bad. But either way, it's still pretty mixed results. So the market, not a surprise if it's neutral. We are shorting a little bit of the E-mini right here with all of it said, though. We're in one short. See if we break down a little bit more now that we're green. And we'll update you guys on this trade. Cvna bouncing right at that previous closing price. And again, if you haven't already, check out Moomoo, man. Moomoo is really useful. One of the ways I'm finding a lot of this data, you see how fast we report it. One of the ways I'm finding it is through Moomoo. Moomoo has this really useful part of it where you can use it for a lot of different stuff. I can go to Explore right here, and I can see what the futures market is doing. I can move forward and look at market hotspots and see what the best performing sectors are. I can see a stock heat map and see what's moving there. I can look at what's moving in hot stocks, what's moving in pre-market, what's moving in after hours, IPOs, all this different stuff. I can go to hot strategies and see what other traders are using. I can build a really nice screener with really in-depth data releases. I can go to the paperfolio section and track what other people are doing. This guy's up 0.5% today. You can see what his portfolio looks like. I can see who's up the biggest on the month. This guy's up 80% on the month in QBTS, and you can follow these traders to see exactly what they're buying and selling. It's called their paperfolio section. There's free unusual option activity and options, and there's zero commission stock and option trades, and their news source is one of the best in the game. You can see their economic calendar right here. I can go to the headlines and see the biggest stories in the market today as well. So all of this is just really useful, and there's zero commission stock and options trades. If you open up an account and deposit at least $100, you get 5 free stocks. Over 1,000, you get 15 free stocks. Over 5K, you get 15 free stocks plus a free share of Google or Tesla. And I got Tesla when I signed up. And so if you want to check it out, here is the link. It's at the top of the chat as well, so you guys can take advantage of it too if you want. They are a sponsor of mine. And so there's the link. Yeah, quick request here. Please don't be super religious or political in chat. If you do, you might get banned. Especially if it's like disrespectful to specific religions or anything like that. Again, that's the easiest, fastest way to get banned in here. Is to be super argumentative, either politically or religiously. Anything controversial, you're just gonna get booted out. We're watching American Airlines. Now we're still green on the trade, and we've already taken profit, but now we're just kind of sitting tight. Jobless claims are already out, so if you missed them. Is it just me? How many viewers do I have here right now? Weird. Okay, good luck, whatnot. Yeah, dude, honestly, my viewers have been stuck at that for like 5 minutes, dude. Does anybody else see that too? That was strange, man. That was weird. Yeah. Also, y'all check out Topstep. You can day trade in futures, no PDT restrictions. You can see I'm currently shorting the E-mini and I'm losing on the trade. But you can day trade. I can buy market, sell market, buy bid the ass. This is the S&P 500 that I'm shorting, and there's no PDT in futures, so I could day trade short. And the patterns in, like, say, the S&P 500 are very similar to the patterns in, like, Tesla, the broader market. But there's no red tape. There's no PDT restrictions. Topstep is the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions and fund thousands of traders every single year. And using the funded account program, they're the most legit one in the world. Like, there's a bunch of other ones, but Topstep is the most legit. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. And ultimately, it's just a great test of skill. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a demo and test your skill. If you can hit the target on their demo, which the base when they give you a 50K demo, if you can hit 3K in profit on there without losing over 2K, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. And again, they pay out millions every year. Just taking the challenge builds you into a better trader, and it genuinely helps you learn how to trade. And there's free funding coaches. You get to keep 90% of your profit once you're funded. And so it's really the best of both worlds, where it's like if you lose, you're only down $49 is what the base combine costs. If you're good enough to pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit moving forward, and you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit. And Topstep's been around for over a decade. They're the most reliable for payouts. And again, if you want to check them out, I'll post this link. It's a great way to help support the channel here. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Shepard. That's rough. Kind of a dud of a news drop. Yeah, I mean, Jobless claims drops weekly, and so it's not like the busiest news release there is, for sure. It's definitely not the biggest one. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, though. Right, so we're up about 50 bucks, $60 on this trade. We're going to try to let this break down. Actually, I'll cut it. I'm the king of, hey, I'm going to let this work, and then I sell it 5 seconds later. I can admit that. That's okay. I'll be like, yeah, guys, I'm going to try to be really patient with this one. Oh, decided to sell 3 seconds later. What's the next big one, Cap? The next big data release is next Wednesday, the Fed rate hike decision. And then I think we also have next week unemployment we have GDP and unemployment, I think, next week. Let me check. I think it's next week. I'm not 100% sure, though, but I think it's next week. All right, guys. And again, we are going to get ready to trade some futures data today. All right, guys. What else we got? Let me check back on chat. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely the top 3 paper hands for sure. Big pop-up paper hands is what they call me. Do you think Tesla will trade at a range from now? I really have no idea. But the next big release, again, is going to be like, again, let me check the data here. So again, I'll go ahead and recap the data. So I know the rest of this week's pretty quiet. Next week, we got manufacturing. No, that's wrong. Next week, we got manufacturing and services PMI on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got CB consumer confidence data. And next week's filled with earnings too. So next week, we got CB consumer confidence data. Wednesday, we got building permits, new home sales, and the FOMC rate hike decision on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have the ECB rate hike decision, followed by followed by GDP data and durable good orders. So GDP data drops next Thursday, and then Friday we have unemployment, I think. Oh, Friday we have PCE. So we got GDP data Thursday, PCE data Friday, the Fed rate hike decision Wednesday, and a bunch of earnings next week. Next week is probably the busiest week we're gonna have this month, I would say. Next week's probably the busiest week we're going to have this month. If you look at the calendar, and that's just for economic data, that's not even covering earnings. So if we look at the actual earnings report, bro, what did Earnings Whisper do to their freaking site, man? This sucks. Earnings Whisper sucks, man, in terms of their site. So Monday for earnings, we got Domino's, Applied Blockchain, Royal Phillips in the morning. Bro, dude, why in the world would Earnings Whisper change their UI? It's so much worse now, dude. How crappy is this, bro? Like, I can't even get to the calendar now. All right, so Monday evening, we got Cleveland Cliffs. I think this is Monday evening. Yeah, okay. We got Logitech, Whirlpool, a couple other ones. Tuesday, July 25th, we got Verizon, GM, General Electric, Spotify earnings. We got Raytheon Tech, 3M, and a bunch of other ones. And that's in the morning. In the evening, we got Microsoft, Google, Snapchat, Visa. Whew. So, yeah. So again, Tuesday, we got Microsoft and Google earnings in the evening. And so that's a big day. So we're going to be covering that too. Wednesday, we got AT&T, Boeing, Coca-Cola, Tilray all in the morning. And then in the evening next week on Wednesday, we got Facebook, Chipotle, eBay. So that'll be a big Facebook. Meta is going to be big. And then the next day on Thursday, we got McDonald's, Southwest, MasterCard, Crocs in the morning, and a bunch of other ones, Valero, AbbVie, Bristol-Myers, Honeywell, Overstock.com in the morning. And then in the evening on Thursday, we've got Intel, Roku, Ford, Enphase, T-Mobile, U.S. Steel, Skechers, and a bunch of other ones. And then I think that's basically it for all the big ones. Then the Friday next week, we got Exxon, Chevron, and a bunch of other ones, Procter & Gamble. And then the next week, man, so earnings season's in full effect. SoFi Monday morning, the week after that. Nothing else really. Pfizer, Uber the next day. AMD the next day. AMD is going to be big. Pinterest is going to be big. Space is going to be big. Market's kind of flushing down here. We did have a nice little green trade. But yeah, that next week's going to be really busy. Wait, Amazon earnings are July 27th. So wait, Amazon is next Thursday as well? Let me see. Bro, pull the freaking calendar up, dude. Why in the world would they do this? Did they really make it a subscription now? Dude, I'm not going to pay for you, bro. All right, so we got the 27th. Said Amazon is in the evening. The 27th, let me see. I know we got Ford, Enphase, T-Mobile. I have to look at another platform, bro. Freaking Earnings Whisper is usually the one I used to use, and theirs sucks. They changed the UI of it to where it's just so much worse than it was. It's so difficult to maneuver now. SPY's still breaking down. Q still trying it. The E-mini's bouncing back up a little bit, but we do have a slight trend here. But yeah, Amazon earnings. So earnings on Amazon are not on the 27th. They're on July 31st on Monday of the following week. And 2 weeks from now, basically, is going to be Amazon's. About a week and a half, actually, is going to be when Amazon drops their earnings. So. Pretty sure TradingView is wrong, but again, I might be wrong about TradingView being wrong. Well, no, Earnings Whisper is pretty good. I like using Earnings Whisper. It really is solid. It was solid until they changed it. I don't know what it's like now, but it was good until they switched it. Again, I don't know why they changed the UI. It looks much worse now, harder to maneuver. Yeah, I'm looking at Benzinga. On Benzinga, it's showing up at on the 31st. NASDAQ says 27th too. Yeah, Amazon's a big company too. Johnson & Johnson breaking down on positive earnings. Yeah, I don't know, man, what Johnson & Johnson's doing. I mean, they're pretty neutral from their earnings report, though. Like, they gapped up on good earnings, and then they basically filled the gap back down. But the whole market is dropping, and so that might have some influence over what J&J is doing, because the whole market's kind of dipping down. Yeah, so there's the Q on the right, bouncing back a little bit. SPY bouncing back up some too, but we'll see if we continue this downward trend that we've been in for a minute now. All right, so we're up a nice little cool $50 here on another E-mini trade. Goal is to build up a cushion, and we're just kind of riding that trend. I just took another 50 off. Green on the day trading, kind of attacking the same trend. Just gonna see if we can keep plugging away at it. All right, so we cut it and we bounce back on the SPY and Q. Anything else you guys would rather me have up here in terms of charts? We're dipping back down here. Still in that same trend, though, for the E-mini. What's the Barbie movie? %88 on Rotten Tomatoes for Barbie. What do you think is the best way to DCA into Bitcoin? All right, so Friday, January 13th. Jim Cramer says investors who own shares of Carvana should sell and move on. At that point in time, Carvana on January 13th was only about $7 a share. Currently, Carvana is almost $60 a share. The GOAT, the legend, Jim Cramer, ladies and gentlemen. They got one of the funniest tweets of all time. It says, quote, and this is from Tasha Labs. She says, quote, if you make an NFT of a real diamond and the diamond itself gets destroyed in a fire tomorrow, you still have the same asset because the token still exists and is in limited supply just as before. Nothing has changed. What NFT is doing to the concept of asset, few understand. End quote. Tasha Labs. And this was back in 2021. I wonder how she's feeling today. The comments on this are freaking hilarious, bro. Some of the comments are, one of the comments is, I'm going to go give my girlfriend a picture of an engagement ring. You know, see if she likes it. NFT engagement ring image. You know, it's going to be in a little box and it's going to open it up and it's just going to be, you know, it's going to be an NFT of a diamond. You know, if it gets destroyed in a fire, you know. Yeah, aside from the fact that a diamond's a freaking diamond, you know. Yeah, Gary, jobless claims numbers are out, bro. Sorry, dude. I might not have posted it on screen, but they came out lower than expected for jobless claims. Here. At 223,000 versus expected. I think it was 232, right, for jobless claims? Yeah, 228 versus 242 expected. Put that up on screen so people can see it. Yeah. I mean, the NFT market has had one of the biggest downfalls ever. The Q is up a little bit here. We'll see if we continue on this trend. Carvana, though, with all that said, is at $53 right there. Yeah, no, I've been talking to Bulldog Trading lately. He's in a short of Carvana. What's up, Architect? Anyone in a short position on Carvana? Yeah, I thought diamonds are harder than fire. Yeah. Hey, if you can sell virtual real estate on Meta, you can sell anything. Yeah, but I mean, the risk of virtual real estate is obvious. So, like, okay. Let me think the easiest way to put it. Like, there's a few risks for investing in virtual real estate. I think the biggest and most obvious one is that there's so many different metaverses that are coming out. There's so many different metaverses that are out there, that just that saturation of metaverses, spending money on a bunch of real estate in one specific metaverse has its risks in and of itself. Because if that metaverse that you're buying it in, for whatever reason, does not turn out to be the leading one, you're going to lose money, almost certainly, And so I think buying too much land in metaverse is kind of a sucker's bet, to be honest. And that's just my own personal subjective opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you have enough money, you can diversify into many different ones and hope one sticks. But I think with the risks that the metaverse in and of itself might not work out altogether, as well as the market kind of moving away from the metaverse type stuff, I think there's risks. It's not something that I necessarily want to put my money in. When I put money in something, I want it to be a little bit more of a sure thing. And I don't think investing in like real estate in the metaverse is necessarily the right move. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm sure the chat's already letting me know their thoughts. Have you ever heard of Second Life? Yeah, I've heard of Second Life. But I think the big time for Second Life is starting to fade. I guess my point is, like, I don't think Second Life is as big as it once was. Maybe I'm wrong here. I think it was really big like 15 years ago. But in modern age, you know, I understand there's been digital items that have been sold for a lot of money. But I think predicting which ones are going to sell for a lot of money is the hard thing. I'm sure there's going to be certain properties in the metaverse that sell for crazy amounts. I'm not saying there's not. What I'm saying is that it's going to be incredibly difficult to predict the ones that do, you know? Yeah, I got you. Well, I mean, most big, again, I think if there's anyone that has a chance, it's going to be Metaverse, because I think they're the largest company that gets behind it, and so they're probably going to be the ones that do it right. I'm definitely not putting money in other metaverses. I know there's like a lot of obscure ones. Just me personally, I'm just not going to put money in it. All right, guys, we still got about an hour. Market's still in that downward trend we've been in for a minute now. Oh, wow. Yeah. Over 1 billion registered users. Yeah, man, I don't know. I didn't know that. But yeah, maybe it's big. Again, I really just don't know enough about it. I think predicting which things are going to sell is a different story. You know, I think with the metaverse specifically, that's going to be a harder thing. I think with Second Life, I'm sure. Let me see what Second Life even looks like right now. They updated their software, it looks like. The only thing I know of Second Life is I know Philly Jim from The Office in Second Life, and Dwight's flying game character in Second Life. That's the only thing I know about it. All right, still in this downward trend. Been in this downward trend for a minute now. Watching your stream on a computer is so much different than watching it on an iPad. All the details are so clear. Speaking of that, where's my glasses, bro? I had some glasses. I don't know where they went, but... So we had good earnings and the market is down. Cool. Thus is why you can't just play earnings sensibly, you know? I mean, you can play earnings. Usually I'm looking for big pullbacks after stuff, but the market's down as a whole right now. Including American Airlines, which I'm green in still, but I've already taken profit. And so I'm still kind of sitting on a small piece of it. And we'll see what it does on the rest. We're pretty much flat on the remaining position, but green on the position overall. Yeah, we're flat on Carvana down at 54s here. And again, my SOXS ETF is still doing pretty nice. Gold giving a little bit of it back today. All right, so the Fed rebalancing is not going to be today, right? Or tomorrow, right? You said it's going to be Monday for the Fed rebalance, correct? Carvana's still trying. We got the Q sideways here. We got the SPY sideways too at 450s. Market is still breaking down here, man. Look at everything start to flush. So look at the SPY. So the SPY is still dumping down here. Look at it down to 453.80s. It's still breaking down, breaking lows here. Everything else is kind of starting to flush down too. But we're watching the E-mini. We're actually green day trading on the year. I'm going to pull this up and get ready to actually day trade the futures market. So let me pull this up. We'll just close this and then pull up the other chart here. But yeah, we're going to get ready to day trade. Here's Apple. Here is Tesla on the right side. So you can watch that as well as like the Dow and some other stuff. And again, we're going to get ready to day trade futures here. There we go. We'll put Tesla up a little bit more. There we go. And then we're going to put the futures market up more too. There you go. Starting to bounce back, but you can kind of see the trend is very obvious here. Look at the trend. All right. We're going to have to start considering getting out of American Airlines at this point in time. We're still green on the trade as a whole, but American Airlines is breaking down. So I'll give it 1 second to bounce back, but it just cracked lows. The whole market's starting to really get red here, and you can see the trend. The trend's really obvious. But yeah, Tesla actually bounced it up a little bit, though. Let me see. Or no, never mind. Tesla's not really bouncing back up. Tesla at 278.50s. We'll see if that holds as well, but Still struggling. But yeah, we'll probably cut American Airlines and just take the W. We're green on it. Only got 25 shares. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it. So we're out of American Airlines. We got filled at 18.10. Our average price was 18.25. So we lost 15 cents a share on the last few. And so we're still green on the trade as a whole. But yeah, you can see this trend going even faster. The momentum is really breaking down here, which is interesting. All right, so we're testing the bottom of that trend line here. I want to, if we hold here, then that's going to confirm this downward trend anymore, and maybe we'll bounce back. It looks like me cutting American Airlines was the right move, though. All right, so Carvana bouncing back up to test 54s here. We still got 15 minutes or so until the market opens, guys. How do you think jobless claims data affects the market? Jobless claims are already out. They dropped at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Let me catch back on chat. Doing a little bit of side work here. What's up, Daniel? What's up, BG? On the 5-year slope of the bear market recovery is just steep. Yeah, what's up, Santiago? Bought some Carvana puts yesterday. Yeah, I'm holding the SOXS, and I'm green on it. So we're doing okay there. That's what I'm doing the most green on. And with that, I'm slightly green on the day in my swing trades on TOS. Green on the day on Moo as well. Slightly green on the day. Still green though. Did you see the Yahoo Finance article about Tesla and analysts saying Tesla is worth $85? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, those ratings are incredibly biased. I'm not saying it's not. Maybe they're right. I don't know. But a lot of the time what you will see with these analyst ratings is like a lot of these companies have bear predictions, right? So they're kind of self-fulfilling prophesying it up. Like they'll have short positions and then they'll say, yeah, Tesla's going to hit $85, and then that'll push Tesla down a little bit and then they'll profit from it. And so they basically cause weakness by saying it's weak, and so they're kind of influencing their own positions a good bit, and it is what it is. But like, that's definitely what goes on sometimes. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but $85 just seems like kind of a crazy price target for Tesla. Tesla currently sitting at about 300 right now, even if you go by PE ratio, which Tesla's PE is what right now? Let's take a look. Tesla's got a PE ratio right now of about 85. So say you split that price in half and make it, give it about a 40 PE ratio, which I think is relatively reasonable right now in the current market state. That would still give Tesla, $130 something valuation, even if you go purely by like the conventional PE metric. And so 85 is, pretty light, I think, and it depends on what happens. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to influence it, but it really depends. But who knows how that's going to happen or what's going to happen there. We'll see. Hey, John, Elon needs a public speaking coach. He told us to buy low, sell high yesterday. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. That's the true nature of the stock market. He's not wrong about that. Again, the issue here, though, is Elon. People always like get mad at Elon's public speaking skills. Y'all realize he has Asperger's, right? So like, Elon has Asperger's. Like, the characteristics of somebody that has Asperger's. I have some people with Asperger's in my family. The characteristics of that is that they have typically a higher than normal intelligence. Like, they have a higher than average intelligence, but they make up for it with worse social skills, right? So typically the characteristics of somebody that has Asperger's is higher intelligence, but worse social skills, worse public speaking ability, so forth and so on, right? So they're a little bit more awkward socially, but they have a higher intelligence. Is generally, I'm not saying that's Elon, but that's generally the characteristics of somebody with Asperger's. And so Elon has Asperger's, and so he's not going to be good at public speaking. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters how good of a coach he has. I don't think he's ever necessarily going to be good at public speaking, and that's okay, He shouldn't be giving investment advice. Yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope for him. I definitely agree there. It's a slippery slope for sure. Yeah, I mean, he's going to say his stock's good. What I heard him say yesterday was, I heard Elon basically repeat something very similar to what I typically say, which is that the biggest investment edge you ever have is you buy and you hold. That's the biggest investment edge you ever have. You're going to hear bears tell you all these different things, all these negative things. They're going to act like the market's crashing every day imminently and all this stuff. But like, when you zoom out, the market's usually going to go up long term. And if you do it right and diversify and invest, you're going to make money long term by just buying and holding blue chips. Individually, who knows what anything's going to do, but yeah. And I disagree with Elon in a lot of ways on a lot of things, just to put it in perspective. So it's not like I'm some big Elon fanboy or anything like that. But what new PDT rule? If you execute 4 more, is there a new PDT rule that I don't know about? And then they recently updated. Somebody educate me on this if I didn't know about this. Somebody help me out. Yeah, I don't know what his actual IQ is. No idea. Market's bouncing back, though. Again, I would say we have to confirm this trend a little bit more now. And widen this gap a little bit so we can kind of see this. I think that looks like the more obvious trend that we're currently in right now. And we'll see if we continue to hold it. Got 9 minutes here, guys. 9 minutes. Wait, a PDT mark is permanent? That's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, the big banks are doing whatever they can to kind of restrict traders. Again, go to futures, guys. There's no PDT in futures. You don't have to worry about getting flagged. When you day trade the S&P 500 in the futures market called the E-mini, you're basically day trading the SPY. The patterns are very similar in the S&P versus like Apple or Amazon or whatever. But there's no PDT restrictions. There's no red tape. You're not going to get flagged for PDT restrictions or anything like that. And they also allow funded account programs like Topstep, which is the most legit one in the world. It's been around for over 10 years. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. It genuinely is really useful for traders because there's no PDT restrictions and you can essentially day trade the same strategies. So a lot of people are going to have better. Most pro traders day trade futures over stocks because there's less restrictions, less red tape. And Topstep's the most legit funded program. They give you a demo. They test your skill. The base one's $49. If you lose, you're only down $49. But if you pass it, they fund you $50K with a 90% split. And you get to keep your first 10,000. Check them out here. Great way to help support your boy here. We are going to be day trading on them today, so you can kind of see it right here. This is the S&P 500. You can see the trends, the patterns, very similar to stocks. Check it out. Link is in the chat. You can also find it in the description. I got the email from Robinhood this morning. Is it just on Robinhood? What's up, Bulldog? Is it just on Robinhood, though, bro? Or is it universally? Freaking. I don't know, dude. I think a lot of retail got... again, I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. I think a lot of retail missed out on this latest bull run because they were so convinced by Michael Burry and the likes of him that the market was imminently going to crash 6 months ago. You know, I don't know how many people in my chat told me that the market was going to crash imminently 6 months ago and that I didn't know what I was talking about, and only fools were buying up stuff right now. And again, it's literally the Dunning-Kruger effect in stocks. You know, it's like the people who think they know the most typically know the least. And a lot of them were just telling us that the market was going to crash imminently and it was going to drop and it was going to drop. And so a lot of retail traders followed these big gurus into thinking the market was just going to crash imminently, and then it didn't. And then it ripped up big percentages. Who do you think profited from those? The banks did. The banks are the ones that made a lot of money over the last 6 months. A lot of retail traders missed it because they were following, you know, gurus. Intelligence doesn't have anything to do with facts or anything like that. The definition, I think the technical definition of intelligence is your ability to obtain knowledge. What it means is how fast you learn. It's basically how fast you learn. Like, that's what intelligence is. Intelligence is how quickly you learn things. There's a difference between knowledge and intelligence. You can be the smartest guy in the world, but not have that much knowledge if you're not motivated to, you know, and vice versa. You can have tons of knowledge from just spending all your time, you know, learning. But if you learn slow, you lack intelligence. And so it depends. But I think intelligence is defined. I think it's defined as the ability to obtain knowledge. I think this is just Robinhood. Yeah, hopefully it is. All right, so look at this trend here. We're moving back to the top of this range. Wisdom is something that happens over time. Intelligence, you say buy an Intel? Nah. Tesla moving up. It's at 280s basically right now, a little bit under 280s. Still kind of straddling the volume weighted average price for most of the day today. Just broke the upside of this trend level here. I might buy this dip now. Apple's starting to surge up. All right, so I bought one contract of the regular E-mini. Apple breaking up to 194s. Let's see if this drags the S&P up a little bit. Apple was the most heavily weighted stock on the S&P 500, so we could have an opportunity to make a little bit here if Apple drags the S&P 500 up with us. Got less than 4 minutes, 3 minutes exactly, to the market opens. All right, we're up slightly here, up a little bit more. Again, the goal is to build a cushion today. I'm going to go ahead and cut that and just get out. And then, again, I don't mind taking little $25 scalps. Goal is to build up a cushion, and we're up about $50 on the day here. So we got a little bit of one to work with. Goal is to build up a cushion and then take larger swings into that. So again, we waited for the trend to break. Look at Apple pop up to almost 195s right now. Almost 195s at 194.80s. Let's see if Apple can break 200 today. It got pretty close yesterday or the day before, I think. And it's at about 195s now. So we got a little bit of time. We got about 2 minutes left until the market opens. Man, Chart Prime, man, dude. Chart Prime is just incredibly useful, dude. Okay, so like, let me show you guys the NASDAQ and let me show you guys the E-mini. So I'm looking at a couple of different ones here, right? So Chart Prime is a trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. I'm using these a lot with my trades, right? So here is multiple different types. So this is the Market Oracle Pro. I've been using this one much more on a 1 minute, and you can kind of see why. So like, they give you these alerts, signals. There's tons of different ones. Like, this is just one little aspect. There's oscillators. They have their own version of VWAP. They show you like triangles, flags, wedges. They show you smart money concepts, and it's very cheap. It's like $35 a month. They're a sponsor of mine, just to understand that. But like, look at this, okay? I can't fake what I'm about to show you. Like, look at this. Strong sell signal here. Look at the drops you get afterwards. And again, this is a 1 minute chart. Buy signal here. You got a nice little bounce. And that's actually what triggered my last trade here, because we got the buy signal here on the S&P, and then we did get a nice little bounce from it. Look at the sell signal here. Look at the nice drops you got after that sell signal. Again, buy sell signal here, or buy signal here, bounce. And so you can, again, strong buy signal here. Nice bounce over like a 20-minute period. Strong sell signal here. Nice drops over like a 15-minute period. And so I can't fake this. Like, they're a sponsor of mine. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but I also can't really fake what I'm showing you here. You can kind of see it. And again, this is just a small piece. You can use them on a 5-minute chart as well. If you want a 5-minute chart, you can use the regular Market Oracle. You can use like a bunch of different stuff here. They show you sharp chart patterns. And look at the buy signal. Look at the big bounce you get on a 1-minute chart. Here's a 5-minute chart. You see the reversal up signal, bounce. Bearish engulfing candle drops. So they show you candlestick patterns as well. Reversal up signal, bounce. Reversal up signal, bounce. And again, you can use this on stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. Incredibly useful for what the price is. It's $35 a month. $35 a month. And so just incredibly cheap, I think, for all the stuff they give you. And again, just really useful. You can get 40% off if you want to check out the link. And again, I'll post this link right here. I'm biased and certainly in their favor. But again, if you want to see kind of how I'm getting into some of these trades, I'll post the link here. Yeah, for sure, BG, 100%. They're actually really nice. Again, people hate on my sponsors sometimes because they just get mad I make money, but they're actually pretty nice. All right, so since the opening bell, market's starting to pop up a little bit here. We are starting to bounce up a little bit since the open. Nice little surge. Apple was really what's dragging us up. Apple almost up to 196 this here. Tesla is dipping down, looking a little red at the opening bell. So Tesla is dropping some. Looks like me cutting American Airline there was the right move. How's Nvidia and the rest of the microchip sector doing here? Huge surge up in the E-mini though. Look at that. I'm just gonna kind of sit back and wait now, I think. Man, American Airline broke down big, and so that little dip buy that I took profit on was the right move. Somehow we ended green, even though it's down big. So it looks like my sell there was right. Again, we got out of American Airline at about 1809. It's at 1750 now, so we avoided a big 75-cent drop. So hey, you love to see it. Now I don't really love to see it break down. I'm happy that I got out. I guess I'll say that. Huge surges up right now. Trend might be changing here. Definitely trend changed here. Let me remove this. And we'll start drawing another potential trend here if we see one. Maybe got a little trend here. Tesla trying to bounce back up a little bit. Any big earnings today? Well, most of the big ones already came out. I don't think we have any big ones after the close today, but maybe I'm wrong. Today is Thursday. Yeah, we don't really have anything big at the open or after the bell today. All right, look at this pop. Big green action so far. A little bit too extended for me to want to buy it up, but I do see some reversals and everything, including Tesla starting to head back up. Apple flying up there. Tesla starting to test the previous high up there too. Nasdaq dipping down a little bit here. Again, the S&P is flying up right now. Tesla pulling a cup and handle style breakout pattern, it looks like. All right, Tesla rip it up again. We're looking really, really strong right now. A little bit too strong for me to buy it up currently, if that's even a thing. I just think it's a little too extended. If we start to dip down to the bottom of this trend line, then we'll potentially buy it up. But I got to wait for that. I don't want to just push so heavy that I take a bunch of trades that I shouldn't be. Nasdaq started to dip a little bit, but not much. Good market's still popping. Nasdaq's giving us a little bit of a dip. See if we get a little pop up. NASDAQ gave us a little bounce after a big rip. Still trying to hold. Not really big enough pullback in the S&P 500 though. All right, and one of the other accounts, we just made a nice little $300 gain here trading the NASDAQ. We bought the little dip in the NASDAQ. We caught the bounce back up. Hey, what's up, SPAC? Friday what's up, Timber? Yeah, again, the S&P has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green candles in a row. So just a little bit too high up there. I'll be right back. I got to go to the restroom real quick. So bathroom break while I'm gone. Is Tesla in green today? You know, in chat, is Tesla in green today? I will be right back. All right, so we are back, but man, hey, look at my trend drawing skills, bro. I drew this thing like 15 minutes ago, and we followed the exact same trend. So if you want to know like the best trading strategy, in my opinion, my personal subjective opinion, you want to know the best one? It's gonna be trends. Trends. Just follow trends, man. You follow trends, you can document trends. Best trading strategy in the game, in my opinion. Super simple, super easy. If you can use a mix of like custom indicators too, like I do with Sharp Prime, great. If not, just follow trends, man. Look at this. We drew this like 20 minutes ago. Played out perfectly. Like, look, we didn't even extend it. This is, you can see, look, you extend it to the right. Same trend. Still in it. At 53 for Carvana. Tesla's still trying to hold, mostly choppy too, but trends are your friend, yeah, for sure. NASDAQ pulling a kind of a U-shaped breakout pattern here. We'll see if it holds. Carvana's still breaking down at 52s right now. Let's see if it holds 50 bucks. What if the trend breaks? Well, then it doesn't work. Then you go find a different trend. Listen, no strategy is going to work every freaking time. Like nothing's going to work every time. You could play trend breaks too if you really want to. Again, the last one we followed the trend. It's not going to hold forever is the point. But it's all about probabilities here. You know, like nothing works 100% of the time. It's not about working 100% of the time. What it's about is finding like something that works over 60% of the time. You know, you can do that, then you got it made. You just sit back and wait for it and compound, you know. Yeah, I am in SOXS, and we're doing really nicely on that one. Yeah, Jobless claims came out like an hour ago, or like an hour and a half ago. All right, so you can see the NASDAQ doing a little bit better here. That's in the top of that range. Looks strong. All right, so we just made another little scalp on the regular NASDAQ, currently up about 365 on the day. Got a cool little cushion there that we can use. Bro, my stomach has been in freaking knots for days, man. Yeah, trend breaks can be powerful too. That's what the last buy I got in was once the trend broke. All right, so if I do play this one, it's going to be the micro NASDAQ. I like the cup and handle breakout pattern here, but it's going to be small, and we're going to have to buy 1, 2, Maybe more if we get something. There's 3. Take 4 pretty soon if it dips some more. All right, we're just gonna take 4 right there. Give it some time. That's somewhat of a green day so far today. I took half off there. And take the rest off. All right, we just scalped it. We're up about $100 on the day now. About $100 on the day. Yeah, I use the 200 EMA mostly. So I use the 200 EMA mostly. How you guys doing today? Y'all green? All right, so we're pulling back again here. The market holds. I just scalped a little bit more on the current one. We are up about 415 or so on this one. So we got a nice little cushion. Starting to break highs again up here, man. There's the rip. NASDAQ testing the top. Again, we might run into some resistance up here. I'm looking at Tesla start to test the lows of market hours. Apple still looks pretty strong, though. It's had a pretty solid run. I don't know. Apple could hit 200 today. I'm not sure if it's going to or not. That's for my day trades, Justin. Believe it or not. So I like using longer term moving averages because I think those are the ones at which like the stock respects the most. I think a 2 short-term moving average is just a line that follows the price action of the chart. It's not actually some crazy good indicator like people act. And not in my opinion, at least. I don't really like using short-term moving averages and short-term trades. Big downwick pressure coming in on the NASDAQ here. Still in the range, but some downwick pressure here. Just broke the highs on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ ripping up. Tesla bounced it up a little bit here with it. Again, we are day trading on Topstep, which is a funded program for futures. They do have their cheapest sale ever. It's $49 for the base combine. And you can open up multiple different accounts. So if you've ever struggled to get funded, now's the time to really try. You can get like 5 different ones, and like the odds are stacked in your favor on getting funded if you can. And so that's what a lot of traders are doing right now because it's just the cheapest. And Topstep's the most reliable funded program for futures in the world. They pay out millions and fund thousands a year. They're the most reliable for withdrawals. Like they pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year. They fund thousands a year. And so again, if you haven't tried out Topstep, just taking the challenge, build your skill. And I think most people are going to lose because most day traders lose. But I think it's a lot cheaper to try this out than put the money up yourself. There's no PDT. in futures. So you can day trade short the S&P, the NASDAQ, and what's called the E-mini and the micro in the NASDAQ. And so again, you can also day trade currencies, gold, silver, all that good stuff. Again, they're a sponsor of mine. Check out the link. Do we hit a recession this year? Yes or no? 53% think no. Poll on Tesla. What's Netflix doing? Market looked like it wanted to break highs, but I don't really trust it now that the NASDAQ is pulling back. Market's actually really choppy today, guys. Like, not really a lot of good action going on in the market so far. What's the data at 10 a.m.? I don't think there's any data at 10 a.m. today. Oh, we got existing home sales. I forgot. See, I completely forgot about today. Existing home sales data at 10 a.m. We'll cover it. All right, very large pullback here. I'm going to buy the micro NASDAQ after this dip with just 2 contracts. Keep it pretty small and light. I don't really like this price action. Right at a break-even line spot. We got 3 contracts in the micro NASDAQ. Just took half off, locked it in. It's starting to break down. So luckily that profit that we took in there is going to protect us a little bit. If we break the low of this candle, I'll probably have to cut it. But if we retrace, then it's still okay, I think. Tesla's just testing the lows and broke lows for a split second. And then you can see it down here on the right. Still about flat on the remaining one. This is the micro NASDAQ too, by the way. I just took another half off. Again, we're up about $110 or so right now on this trade. Get out there. Yeah, up about $110 on the day on this account. Right, there's the NASDAQ pulling back a little bit more here. See if we retrace back up. Again, it's been kind of a consolidation heavy area. All right, there's a big rip up in the NASDAQ. Or not a big rip up, just kind of a neutral one. All right, we got existing home sales data in about 3 minutes, so I'm going to sit tight and wait for this data to come out before I take any more trades. And again, check out Chart Prime, man. Chart Prime, I've been using them a decent amount today. Haven't really gotten any alerts on the E-mini or the NASDAQ, but like, look at this, how accurate this is. Look, buy signal here, look at the huge bounces. Sell signal here, look at the huge drops. Buy signal here, look at the huge bounces. Sell signal here, look at the huge drops. And so again, I can't fake this. Buy signal here, nice little bounce over like a 15-minute period. I can't fake it. And again, you can also see like, look, chart patterns. I can put chart patterns up and look at like actual like long-term patterns. Look at the wedge that it shows you right there. I can put up like smart money concepts. I can put up their oscillator. I can put up market dynamics. There's just so many different things that they offer for 35 bucks a month that it just makes it an obvious thing and just really, really useful. I prefer to use like the Market Oracle Pro personally, but it's subjective. And again, 35 bucks a month, you can try it out in the description if you want to. But this is something that I'm kind of using on the side as well here today. All right, NASDAQ starting to flush back down a little bit. Look at this drop. Weakness coming through. I just made another $105 on this account on the NASDAQ drop. We are up about 190 on the day. Got a good little cushion there. All right, so here goes the existing, or the, I think it's new home sales. What is it today? It is new home sales. Their existing home sales, they're expecting it to show at 4.2 million. Let's see what it shows up as. Oh, dude, my stomach has just been in freaking knots. All right, guys, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. All right, here's the release. Let's see how it affects the market. All right, existing home sales came in slightly low at 4.16 million versus 4.2 million expected. 4.16 million versus 4.2 million expected. Yeah, so lighter than expected is these existing home sales. You can see the NASDAQ start to flush down on this data. S&P starting to push up though. Big flush in the NASDAQ on the data. Market reacted a little bit late to it, but man, huge drop. Let's see what happens here. Big drop. NASDAQ flushing down, looking really weak. All right, so NASDAQ broke down pretty big here. All right, market's kind of consolidating here. We broke down a lot on the NASDAQ, and now we're just kind of chilling back and forth. Market's starting to bounce back up a little bit here as well now. All right, so starting to see a downward negative trend here for sure. On the existing home sales data, you can see it moved up, and now we're starting to dump down. We'll see if we can get into some shorts. Tesla looking really weak. Who's anxious? CT. Housing market is unstable at best, looking for fallout plays. Yeah, I don't trust the housing market either, to be honest. There's the mini NASDAQ looking weak. Market's looking weak, starting to break down and flush here. And again, look at the chart prime, man. Again, I keep bringing this up, but like, look at this sell order here, right here. And then look at the breakdown afterwards. So, pretty accurate, man. Again, if you want to check it out, link is in the description. But I'm probably going to close it down for the day, guys. My stomach is in freaking knots, dude. My stomach hurts, man. It really does hurt. I don't know what is going on. Like, my acid in my stomach is just crazy high right now. Look at the big flush in the market here too. So, hey, Chart Prime called that too. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bail out of here. Again, if you want to check out Topstep, links in the description. Great way. That's what we've been day trading on today. If you want to check out Chart Prime, that's what we've been using. Love you all. Y'all be safe. You can get 15, 16 free stocks if you open up an account with Moomoo. I got Tesla as my 16th stock. And zero commission, open all pre-market. Great sources for news and a bunch of good stuff. So check them out. Love you all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, guys.